Hey there, it's your buddy Craig Carton. If you want the best mix of sports, stories, and straight talk, then tune in to the Craig Carton Show every day as we break down the biggest games and hottest takes on and off the field. There are no sacred cows on this show, just real sports talk for real sports fans. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a minute of the action and subscribe right now to the Craig Carton Show. Do it today.
Live from New York. It's a show that's in first place, not among shows, but in the AFC.
Yeah.
Actually, in the whole NFL.
You have the best.
We've got 10 wins.
My team.
His team's in
They're in first place.
First place in the division. But
And the Chiefs are
Brew. When
hovering.
he says the show,
I just mean
he means him. He could, if he wanted to say,
anybody,
if he meant everybody,
That's true.
he would have said it's the show that
right,
went undefeated this week.
What went on?
Yes.
Chiefs,
Yes.
Patriots, Ravens, Bears for Danny.
Also,
That's true.
the Titans covered.
Well,
Got 1 point.
you got 1 point.
More than me.
Yeah, bro.
I bet on
That was
Nick's
a rough one.
Bucs.
That was a rough one. First hour of First Things First today. Kansas City avoids missing the playoffs, we think. And all of a sudden, they've got the third best Super Bowl odds. What? Meanwhile,
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Cowboys win, Eagles lose. Can Dallas make a playoff run? And are the Eagles in trouble? And finally, Shedeur starts and wins the starting job announced today. Gabriel's healthy. Shedeur will start. Did Cleveland finally find their quarterback? It's been 40 guys.
I'll tell you one person who definitely thinks they did. Shedeur.
Hey, that's half the battle.
Absolutely.
Shedeur
That's right. You got to believe.
Very confident that they found their guy.
It's worked out for him. Nick Wright, Kevin Wildes, Chris Broussard. We are starting in Kansas City.
Yeah.
The back on track Chiefs. Too much, too late for the Colts. Mahomes not just 235 passing yards in the second half to rally his squad from a 20-9 deficit as the defense shuts down the number one offense in the league. Here's Patrick Mahomes.
This is exactly what we needed to win against a really good football team, and the game's not going your way. You could have folded in that situation and kind of been kind of the rest of the season. The guys responded and then found a way to win on every single unit. I mean, offense, we found a way at the end. Defense stood tall multiple times to give us chances. And then Harrison and Ariza did a great job flipping the field and making field goals. So we needed a win like this, and now let's just try to build off of it.
All right, how did Kansas City pull this win off?
By being the damn champs. And they're not the champs of the league, but they are the champs of this conference.
True.
They have won this conference 3 years in a row. They have won this conference 5 of the last 6 years. They have been to 7 straight conference championship games. And their season was not going to end at Arrowhead before Thanksgiving at the hands of Daniel Jones. And it was on the brink.
Yeah.
Danny, if you people watched our walk-in video, I watched the game at Danny's house, and he made it sound like I was on my hands and knees praying during the game. That's not true. I was, however, dropped to my knees multiple times in agony during the game because I was in dismay that this season could end like that. And it didn't, because even though they have not played like it throughout large stretches of the season, they are a great team. Because every aspect of the team is how they were able to pull themselves out of an 11-point fourth quarter deficit against the number one offense in football. The defense was phenomenal the whole game. The whole game, the defense was great. Chris Jones got the crowd going after the Kareem Hunt fumble, and Andy talked about that, Patrick talked about that, the other players talked about that. When everyone seemed down, he got him going. Jonathan Taylor did nothing.
Yep.
Tyler Warren, who's supposed to be already as a rookie, the best tight end in football, barely heard his name called. In the fourth quarter and in overtime, they were able to do nothing. Obviously, everyone on offense in the fourth quarter and overtime contributed. Kareem Hunt made up for the fumble and was excellent.
Whole game.
The whole game was excellent. The fumble almost spoiled it all. Xavier Worthy on 3rd and 7 for the season maybe comes through. Rashee Rice. I mean, here's the 3rd and 7 to Xavier Worthy. Just a game, is potentially a season-changing play. Rashee Rice, after really being quiet since the suspension after game 1, up to and including the first half of this, was phenomenal. A 4th and 3 play, a 47-yarder, multiple plays in overtime. Noah Gray caught a critical pass unconscious. He was knocked unconscious and somehow kept the ball. And obviously Patrick, and that was not some great Patrick game, but it had great Patrick moments, made the plays that needed to be made. And that's, by the way, Patrick's 4th straight win over his kryptonite Big Lou. They're not pretty, but that's his 4th straight win. And to the rest of the league, I would just say, man, like the great Omar said, you come at the king, you best not miss.
I feel like that should be reserved.
You had an opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, listen, maybe, except for Lamar, with respect, ain't the king. And they had the Chiefs on the mat. And all 31 other teams, franchises, fan bases, or I guess all 30 other, were rooting for the Colts. Because no matter what the numbers say or the record says, the 5-5 Chiefs scare everyone so much more than the 8-2 Colts. So they wanted the Chiefs eliminated, and they could have been, but they were not, Brew.
Well, look, it remains to be seen if they're still a great team. We'll see the rest of the way.
Sure.
But what they showed was championship mettle to the point where you cannot count them. In fact, beyond that, if they are still alive, they are the favorites in the AFC. They might be 9-8 and limping into the playoffs, but especially this year, when you look at the way everybody's looking, they will be the favorites, and they showed you why. The way they did it was they posed the question that everybody around the league is wondering, or at least was. I think maybe now people feel like they have an answer. But the question was, can Daniel Jones beat you?
Yeah.
Because they said Jonathan Taylor's not beating us.
Correct.
They shut him. He was 3.5 yards a carry. I think he had 60-some-odd yards on 16 carries. Like, they shut him down and said, let's see if Daniel Jones can beat us. And he couldn't. 85 yards, I think he had in the second half, 83 yards passing in the second half. And to your point, the defense of the Chiefs, every year in the playoffs, it seems, or at least certainly the AFC, their defense is not ranked number 1, but it does end up in the playoffs looking like the best defense in the league, or at least the AFC. And last night, or yesterday afternoon, when they had to be the best, they played, 4 straight 4-and-outs in the fourth quarter in overtime. Like, no first downs. That is incredible. And so that was a big part of it. And to your point, Rashee Rice, like, he is this is what I expected him to play like once he got back. Now, maybe a game or two of rust, but like you said, he's been silent for the most part. But yesterday, 103 yards after the catch. Just to put that in perspective, Christian McCaffrey leads the league in yards after catch, averaging about 55 a game. So he basically doubled that in a game. I mean, he was fantastic. And when you've got him, and like you said, Worthy, then Kelsey you always have to worry about. Yesterday it was Noah Gray. Like, it's just hard to stop them. And so, and then you throw in the running game. If they're going to get Kareem Hunt, I know he doesn't break long runs, but he is a tough runner. You know, he's not quite what he was earlier in his career, his first stint with the Chiefs. But he is a tough runner. So
tush push
that's all they showed.
Nance said that in the game?
No, they're
like more effective than the tush push.
They're better at 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 than any team in the league.
Quickly, did the Mahomes interception, goal line interception bother you? It's a little bit of a defensive compliment that they actually were in the teens. You don't count like a 1-yard drive.
I mean, it's a great play, but come on, guys.
How? Oh, I just stumbled into it. We're back.
The brand lives.
What was
He's
that?
stronger than ever. The legend of T6 grows. Another tackle that turned the
Did
tide.
you know that was coming?
No,
I mean, give me a break.
It's right there.
I mean,
I don't know how many tackles. You should have a highlight reel of your quarterback making
just telling
tackles.
you. And I mean, Mahomes, we can do the Mahomes Earth. Thank you, KW.
He put it on the line.
Great synergy.
He put it on the line.
He threw the ball shoulder.
No, I mean, it was a terrible play.
Throwing shoulder. I'm so glad you asked, KW. And we can show you Mahomes, that not immediately after this, obviously, but Mahomes up to when they were down 20-9 and then moving forward, his numbers. Now, the passer rating's capped because if you don't throw a touchdown, your passer rating actually can't be higher than like 110. But 250 yards, 10 yards per attempt, all these critical plays, and it, of course, was the polar opposite of Daniel Jones before and after going up 20-9. Because here's the deal, and this is why people are skeptical. Early in the game, Daniel Jones, one could say, he was carving up the Chiefs' defense. Man, Bruce said it. Every aspect of the game plan was Jonathan Taylor's not beating us. Yep. We'll see if Daniel Jones can keep this up. So he's getting great looks, or great fronts to throw in, and was somewhat successful early, and then of course late. He was playing fine, but then late in the game, they inexplicably put the game in his hands, where on those final 4 drives you're talking about, Brew, 3 runs, 9 passes, 3 of 9 for 17 total yards, which does mean the Daniel Jones magic act added a new element, a disappearing act to it. And in fact, we have something as well, which is Greg Jennings.
Live on the banner.
Live from the banner. Greg Jennings talking to us. Greg,
that was a rough one.
Greg, how was that watch for you, buddy?
It was, you know what? It was reassuring, to be honest. It was very reassuring. Look, man, you to follow up on what you just were saying, Daniel Jones going 3 for 9 late in the game, I felt like, it wasn't just solely on Daniel Jones. I thought when you look at the way that they were playing in the first half, they were executing on first and second down. They failed that. Pittman had a crucial drop. Well, it wasn't really a drop. Cook knocked it out of his hand, but that got them behind the sticks. And then you had the third down touchdown.
Greg, what are we doing?
It was. I'm not gonna bash him.
Well,
he played poor
late. They put the game in his hands, Greg, and it disappeared.
They had to. Greg, it wasn't just Daniel Jones. I'm not going to just blame Daniel Jones. He didn't come through.
This is disrespectful.
This is not.
This is hurtful.
I give you credit for showing
Here's
up,
the
but
thing.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, but is he, like I said, a disappearing act?
Oh, gosh. Sorry, Greg. That was just.
Hey, he tried to ride with his guy.
I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Chiefs next up. Cowboys on Thanksgiving. More
very
on
short
this
turnaround.
Week. We're going to head down to Dallas, where the Cowboys aren't giving up on this game or their season. They mount a 21-point comeback, ties the largest in team history to ground the birds. Over 350 for Dak in the air. Here's Schottenheimer in the locker room that everybody loved.
Hey, we got a lot of cool to celebrate, but I got a question first. Can you win the game in the first quarter? No. Can you win the game in the second quarter? No. Did we spot them 21 points? Yeah. We did. But what about, hey, can you win the game in the third quarter? No. What about that?
Yeah, I don't know about that. It's better than Sirianni ripping off Kurt Signetti's trademark. This team's never played there.
Brew, time for your Cowboys grade.
Well, look, early on, I was thinking, here we go again.
Yep.
Right? For the first quarter and a half, it was like the Cowboys, every time you want to believe, they end up disappointing you. They show you enough to get you excited and then don't deliver. A tease is what I've called them.
Yeah.
But then they came on and they delivered in outstanding fashion. Look, Dak had another strong game. Javonte Williams obviously played well. The defense is playing well now.
And stopping the run.
Yes. They hold him to 30-something yards rushing, 63 yards rushing, I think?
Right about Saquon's season
yards
average.
rushing. Yeah. I mean, they did a great job defensively. And George Pickens, I've been toying with the idea of, is he really their best receiver? He has been this year. There's no question.
How much of that, though, was CeeDee's injury?
Well, more of it is CD's drops.
Yeah,
He's dropping
fair.
way too many balls,
fair.
particularly against the Eagles. And so there's really nothing to do but give them. I give props where they're due.
Oh, and here we go.
Run it back. The Lord has come back. The yellow sea. Another playoffs. A whipping read. The offense clicking. Jack Lamb and Pickens. Defense ball out. Jerry's so proud it was another A game. A game, A game, A game, A game. A game. Boom, boom. A game. You know I said. A Cowboys.
We gonna go on tour.
I got a little nervous because you had you clear your throat a little bit. I got a little nervous.
Props to the Cowboys.
Yeah, they're
great
good.
game. Great.
Listen.
We pricked it. I thought they'd win, but I didn't think they win in this fashion.
Correct. You and I both, oddly, picked a 3-point Cowboys victory. They won by 3, but neither one of us thought it would have the ebb and flow of this game. Now, I will say this. Even when they were down 21-0, it felt like they were moving the ball because they were. You know, they had the end zone pick. They had some, I don't want to call it bad luck, bad execution, but the Eagles' defense, which had looked so dominant the previous 2 weeks, did not look dominant even in building the 21-0 lead. It looked very opportunistic.
Yeah.
But the story for me about the Cowboys being alive, however alive they are, the Cowboys yesterday and this Cowboys season is a Dak Prescott story. Dak, we can show you his numbers, but it's more than just the numbers, which are almost across the board top 5 in the NFL. To me, Brew, I am more impressed with Dak this season than I was Joe Burrow last season. Really? And again, it's eye of the beholder, and it's both words.
His numbers aren't
super
as
impressive.
good, yeah.
His numbers are not quite as good. That is correct. But I also feel like that Dak's heavy lift of, unlike Burrow last year, where he has the same head coach, the same offensive coordinator, the same pair of receivers he's always had, where it's a new head coach, new-ish offensive system, getting Pickens involved, dealing without CeeDee Lamb for a month, all of that. To me, I just watch him week in, week out, and I do feel like if we are grading on this season alone, like no reputational bonus, aside from Stafford, I don't think anyone's playing the position better than him right now. Again, if we were to remove all context of who they'd been up to this point in their career, all of that, I just think on a week-to-week basis, he's playing that well. And so I give him a ton of credit. And I thought, he has, and we just kind of dismissed it, particularly at home, owned this division.
Yeah.
And you
19 straight home division wins.
It's 19 straight?
19,
okay.
It's second only to Brady.
22-2.
I think 22-2 overall. I didn't know it was 19 straight. Yeah. And how did they tie the game? With Dak, who doesn't run much.
That was a great.
Great.
Right, absolutely. Being like, now is a moment.
Like Josh Allen out there.
Turned it back.
And so I thought, I agree with your grade for the team, but I just think Dak has been phenomenal this season. And legitimately, to me, has an argument for that second team All-Pro. If that's less of a wins award than MVP. But like first team right now looks like it's going to be Stafford. Drake May has an argument, obviously. But
Drake will probably be second.
Probably, but I think Dak to me
grab
has
some MVP votes.
I think he'll do some of that fifth place.
They got to start winning.
It's the same thing as Burrow last year. They didn't make the playoffs. He got some
this
fifth
Thanksgiving
fifth spot is kind of could
up
go
in the air.
Yeah, it's like he's a great individual. His team didn't play well, but like Burrow did last year.
There's a chance that we're not working on Thanksgiving, but it's either A or F game against the Chiefs. It feels like. I feel like it's going to be fascinating.
I mean, they might bring their A game and lose to the Chiefs. You could bring your best game and lose to the Chiefs.
You could, and they also listen.
Maybe.
I mean, the Chiefs are better, don't you think?
Yeah, one game better.
Well, not even a full game. I mean,
But I'm just saying, if both teams play their best.
I mean, Vegas clearly agrees with Brew because the Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites in Dallas. Here's what I will say. That is far from an easy game.
Yeah.
What I also think is, I was just a moment on the Chiefs in regards to this game. I was really impressed by the Colts corners yesterday. It's their first game with Ward and Sauce, obviously, which was their idea. I think that whatever issues the Chiefs offense has, we have seen them solved when they go up against bad back ends. So that would be my concern for Dallas in that game. But Quinnen Williams has been great. And listen, quarterbacks that can actually sit back in the pocket and dice you up have given the Chiefs trouble, and Dak certainly can do that.
All right, on the flip side, the Eagles gave up 21 points. For the first time in 25 years, gave up a 21-point lead. They've allowed others.
They've given up 21 a few others.
I call this the faulty boiler game. How about that?
What's that mean?
Super hot, then ice cold. You know, you go to the shower.
Okay.
After being up 21, 4 punts, a missed field goal, a fumble, and another punt. Here's Jalen Hurts.
You know, at the end of the day, it's about executing. You execute what's called. You go out there and you try and bring that to life. And we executed well in the first half, and obviously a lot of things that we could control that didn't go the way we wanted them to in the second. In the end, we had the opportunity to win the game, and we didn't. And so we gotta own this one. Let it light a fire in us as a team and stay together and move forward.
All right, so here is the NFL's record when leading by 14 or more, 89-9. The Eagles, 2-2. What was the number one reason for this loss, bro?
Look, I just gave the Cowboys an A, so I don't want to take anything away from them.
You can.
And this isn't the sexiest answer. You know, people will want you to write off the Eagles. They're done. They can't do this. They can't do that. Here's the truth. They relaxed. After scoring on their first 3 possessions and holding the Cowboys to 0 points, they relaxed. That has been their MO all year, right? They're down 26-7 to the Rams. Let's turn it on and do what we got to do to win. They scored 26 unanswered points. Tampa Bay, they're up 24-3. They relax. Give up, 19, outscored from there 19-7 in the second half. Denver, they're up 17-3, and it cost them. They relax and give up 18 fourth quarter points and lose the game. And I feel like this team is, for some reason, in a mode where they didn't win yesterday, but their mentality is kind of subconsciously even. We do what we got to do to win.
Yeah.
Green Bay, they only gave up 7 points, so they scored only 10. Detroit, similar situation. I just think that, look, don't get me wrong. They got issues. The offensive line isn't nearly as good as it used to be. Saquon is doing nothing. Jalen didn't have time yesterday. But my point is, I still think they are arguably the best team in the NFC and the league, in fact. But I just think they let foot off the gas. Next thing you know, we're in a game and we can't get it back.
So I understand that, and I think in certain circumstances I would agree with you, particularly in a game where I thought the inferior team was going to win, and not because of some huge indictment of Philly. But the way this game played out feels differently to me than that, KW. Because here's my biggest takeaway from the game, which is also the biggest reason the Eagles lost. A.J. Brown is correct.
Correct. You're correct that A.J. Brown is correct.
There is something wrong with the offense. There is just something wrong with it. And their total inability to put together 4 straight quarters. Only the Titans have more scoreless halves this season than Philadelphia. We have shown you repeatedly their 3-and-outs and the drives that end in punt list, which we could show you again. Again, the only team in the league that's going 3-and-out 30% of the time. And look at the quarterbacks on that other, the rest of it. The drives ending in a punt. Again, you go to where Philadelphia is, and you look at the court. It's this. A Eagles drive is as likely in a punt as a Titans drive this year. Now, in fairness, a lot of those Titans drives that don't end in punts, they end in turnovers.
Hey.
No, but still, that's jarring. And the fact that they were that good on the first 3 drives. And then not only that inept, but that conservative. It was like I thought the end of the half was a real signifier that part of what's wrong with this Eagles offense is the person most in charge doesn't, for some reason, fully trust his quarterback. Because to not try to, you clearly trust Jake Elliott's leg. You had him kick a 56-yarder later. His rationale on giving up with 18 seconds left from right around the 30 was the Cowboys kicker has a big leg. We want to leave him time. The math doesn't work on that. You know what I like? With 48 seconds left, it's actually more defensible. You know what I mean? Where you'd think you'd want to be more aggressive there. It's like, hey, we're in control and we could give him. But there was no way the Cowboys kicker was going to get on the field unless you thought we might turn it over. And then one other piece, and then you go, KW. The sack Jalen took with 2 minutes left was an absolute killer that can't happen. Like in a tie game.
And they blew through that offensive line.
That sack, he had 4 seconds. I mean, he took the sack after 4 seconds.
Might be a different one.
Yeah, it's a different. And so and obviously Saquon is just not going to be good this year.
I think he had 5 yards before
contact. But I do think, KW, there is something wrong with the Eagles
quickly,
offense.
if I can, to your point, once they got the lead, they started playing not to lose.
Yes.
And that was shown at the end of the half, and I think that's what they do. If they're behind, they got to start playing.
Yeah.
If they're ahead, they said, okay, let's settle down. Let's just not lose. And you can't do that against an offense.
Are you saying that's a player's mentality thing or a play calling thing? Because I'm arguing that it's a play calling
I think
issue.
This year it's largely a play calling thing because I think Platula deserves a lot of criticism. Because I think that's a bad.
So here's the headline I asked Dusty to pull. This is starting to make the way around Philadelphia. After latest collapse, Eagles have no choice but to replace Kevin Patullo. That might be extreme. We saw the Bills do it a few years ago. Yeah. I like to try to, win-win. Last year, Dean Pease came in, remember, to help the Ravens and Zach Orr's staff. Doug Peterson said he would be open to coming back.
No OC worth his salt wants somebody to come in like that as a consultant. I mean, I guess you might do it to save your job, but
it is what they did it with Matt Patricia, and the defense changed. But this is pre-Vic Fangio, so they have a history of bringing in a consultant. Remember, it used to be either bad at stopping the run, they got bad at the pass, or vice versa. Something needs to happen.
Sorry.
No, that's it.
Nick Sirianni's an offensive guy.
He can't do it.
He's got to do something.
Other than stack wins.
Yeah, no, but
he wins.
No, I get it. No, but I'm saying I don't think it's right now. I don't think it would be realistic to say Nick Sirianni, for stacking up all the NFL head coaches, just has too much on his plate. Like one of the reasons that you bring in, like you said, Patricia. That's not his side of the ball. Harbaugh is a special teams coordinator, so he really is just like oversee the operation. He doesn't have a specific side of the ball. Sirianni is an offensive guy.
But he hasn't done it.
Well,
Steichen did it for 2 years, Brian Johnson, Kellen Moore, and then Patullo. So Jalen always has this revolving door of OCs, and you start to see identityless football. How are we playing this year? How we played last year, 2 years ago?
By the way, if A.J. Brown wants to keep his streak going of causing mayhem, he should post like the happiest Instagram post
I hate to say it
today.
A.J. Brown, no content for us.
No,
it was 8 catches, 110 yards, whatever.
It was purely
A.J. Brown just posts rainbows and stuff.
That's good. The hands are what really sell it too.
You know what I'm saying? Cowboys. We gonna go on tour.
Hey there, it's your buddy Craig Carton. If you want the best mix of sports, stories, and straight talk, then tune in to the Craig Carton Show every day as we break down the biggest games and hottest takes on and off the field. There are no sacred cows on this show, just real sports talk for real sports fans. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a minute of the action and subscribe right now to the Craig Carton Show. Do it today.
podcast back to number 5 in the entire world. I gotta jump in the chat on YouTube again. It's Wednesday. When do we do the chat, John? Thursdays? I'm not doing it on Thanksgiving. Also, quick update. No big deal. Just the best game in all of college football. Number 1 Ohio State heads into Michigan for the game. All starts at 9 a.m.
It's also the last time Ohio State lost.
That's correct.
Yeah.
3-hour Big Noon kickoff live from Ann Arbor. Then it's Michigan, Ohio State at noon, only on Fox. Dusty, we got to get somebody in to discuss that game. See if Joe Klatt's available. Maybe get Tom Brady. He went to Michigan.
Tom Brady would be great.
Bruce's prediction has come true. Baltimore has won 5 in a row. Ravens are now atop the AFC North after dispatching of the hapless Jets 23-10. Lamar, just say, but Derrick Henry had 2 touchdowns. Here's the standings. First place, Brew. You called it. Classic one. Are you feeling good about your first place Ravens?
The Bucs!
Okay, here's the Bucs.
You tried to dampen my spirits while I was with and I see Nick over there rolling his eyes as if I'm supposed to coach just poo-poo a W. This is 5 straight wins now. I know they didn't look like world beaters, but I'll take it.
Okay.
And here's the thing that really cheered me up, Coach. I said, he didn't look great.
I said,
Lamar hadn't thrown any touchdowns in a few weeks. I think he's only got 1 or 2 since he's been back from injury. But then I said, let me just do a little research. And I found out this is what the Jets do. They muck up the game. They make it ugly. So you beat them, but you don't look great in doing it. Pittsburgh, Nick's favorite NFC team, Tampa Bay, and Denver, Coach, they each beat the Jets by 2 points. Your Patriots, who you think are the best team on God's green earth, they beat the same Jets a week ago by 13 points, just like my Ravens. So I'm supposed to be upset? I trust that Lamar will find his way. I trust that Derrick Henry will find his way because the defense coach is still cooking. So you know what I did after I realized all that? Last night after the game, I came in to the studio by myself.
Late night?
Oh, wow. Tried on the robe, Coach.
Oh.
Still fits. Still feels good. Still looks fantastic on me. And I thought, is today the day?
Well, they're in first place.
They are in first place.
Over 500.
That's a reason to do it. But no.
Wow.
Not yet. I told you, it's got to feel good.
Beating Joe Burrow on Thanksgiving
that might go
would
the
be
other way.
reason enough.
That could be. Could be. We'll see. But I'll take it, Coach. A W is a W. They're all professional players, even on the Jets.
They are. And I wanted to be more excited than I was after watching that game.
Because they're your pick, too.
Yeah, they are my pick as well. And playing against Cleveland, I understood them struggling offensively. Cleveland's really good defensively. Lamar had the injury designation. Things weren't lining up perfectly for the offense. And I thought, okay, if they're explosive against the Browns, then they're really back. And then I thought, okay, now we've got a week. The offense has been playing together. This is going to look different against the Jets. And it didn't look different. And then we go in the first half and we're down 7-3. So there's that problem. On third down, they were 2 for 11 on third down. The red zone, that's been a problem, was a problem again. 2 for 5 in the red zone. That didn't look very good. And so collectively, you'd like to see more progress. And I'm with you. I expected him to be leading the division, and the hole they dug themselves wasn't insurmountable because of the way the Steelers are playing. It's just you want to see some more progress.
I think I know the problem, Coach. And this is a tough one. True. You've called the Ravens a lot of things over the years, but they're not one of the silly teams. Correct? You agree? They're not silly. They
got rid of all their games.
Well,
right.
So wait.
They are not silly.
But I would like to go to why
They're
those
not break
games
dancers.
existed to begin with. If they're not a silly team, and you're at work, Like when Google is like, hey, we have all these cool things, in the office, there's a reason behind it. It's for recruitment. You know what I mean? So to get the best people and then also to get people stick around at the office longer. I think the Ravens are a mature team. I think they're a veteran team. They're not a silly team. And yet they brought all those games in the locker room. It might have been for a reason. And if you go back to the article when they were taken out, you'll read that it was a little controversial when they were taken out, where they write, from a player's perspective, the recreational activities helped break up long days and out of the locker room to breathe and relax, even for a moment. From an atmosphere that demands intense daily focus. The fun stuff is gone.
This is a low blow.
I would then posit even further, Brew, that the person that needs the monotony broken the most or the tension broken the most is the person under the most pressure, Lamar. So my hypothesis is this, Chris Broussard. The toy toss that transformed the tacklers is also the toy toss that tarnished the offense. They need it. The offense needs it. They have not been, and if you look at the numbers, Brew, the offense pre-T7 and post-T7, it's a precipitous drop.
It has played out that way.
And Lamar in particular, pre-T7 and post-T7. So is it possible that unless we bring back Papa-Shot, we're not getting that explosive Ravens offense? Is it possible that after a tough practice, Lamar needs the video game?
No, this is the only problem with your theory. Well, beyond the fact that your last word didn't start with T.
Yeah.
It was offense. You need a thesaurus for that. But Lamar's the one that tossed the toys.
Yeah, but maybe it was a rash decision. And he didn't think it'd be the toy toss that tarnished the thrower.
that could be it.
We're back.
Look, I'm just speculating. Because we've talked about he's not running anything like he has. He's not getting away from guys the way he used to. He's not even looking to run, but when he does, he's not able to shake guys.
He didn't hit the corner yesterday when it looked like he could have scored?
I don't know. He's had the hamstring. The knee was sore, and the ankle. I wonder if there's something. I mean, he can obviously play, but it's just hindering his speed.
Yeah, but luckily he's a better passer than prime Drew Brees and Peyton Manning, so it doesn't matter.
And these days aren't 12-hour days now, fellas. The guys come in 8 and are gone by 5. It's not not like
maybe they'd stick around a little longer if you could play a little skee ball.
Yeah, you'd like them to stick around.
Ravens, Lamar versus Joe Burrow coming up on Thanksgiving.
They're going to have some offense in that one.
Shedeur won his first start with the Browns, 209 and a touchdown, highlighted by this 53-yard bomb. He leaves with the win and the starting job. Stefanski said Gabriel is cleared, but Shedeur will start. Here he is post-game.
And like I say, just because I didn't get the summer reps, just because I wasn't in the best situation, for me to be prepared to go out there and execute, from a summer standpoint, that's how life is. Everybody's not in everybody's not in the best situation, but it's no excuse. You got to go out there and perform. There's no choice, there's no question. Nobody cares if this was 1 week of prep. Who cares? So a lot of people want to see me fail, and that ain't going to happen.
Were you impressed by Shedeur's debut as a starter?
Before I answer, I'm going to make a request, Coach. Because we're going to talk about Shedeur again later in the show, and we're going to talk about Shedeur's comments later. So, and I know this is, I'm chumming the water, but I'm. So listen, I was impressed that he was fine. He was totally fine, and there was a lot of pressure on him to just be fine, and I thought he was fine. And I think this is the right decision, and the reason, even though I've never been a big believer in Shedeur. Right, we cut it off before Jerry Jeudy started dead-legging into a turnover. I have never, I was not very high on Shedeur coming out of school. I haven't been as high on him as others. But the reason I said, Coach, that I thought they needed to make this change before we knew Gabriel was hurt, when we argued about it a couple weeks ago, is I believe, Coach, that Dylan Gabriel is close to 0% chance to be the long-term Browns starting quarterback. And I think he is at a literal 0% chance to be a long-term plus, like, oh, we have a really good quarterback.
He's not winning the Super Bowl.
I think he profiles as an awesome backup.
Stopgap.
You know what I mean? Or like a
At
fine,
best,
you're right,
stopgap.
yeah,
Sure.
stopgap backup. And I think Shedeur has a 5 to 10% chance to be a good long-term starting quarterback. I still would need like those 10 to 1 odds to bet on it.
Yep.
But if I'm the Browns, and I've been searching for this since you benched Bernie Kosar, and shout out to Bernie, by the way,
pretty much true.
who's doing a lot better,
Yes.
we heard.
Yes.
Very happy for him. I would roll the dice on the guy with the higher upside, getting a look at him before I have these draft picks. And so that's my takeaway on him starting, and the fact that yesterday I thought he was just fine, which is what he needed to be.
Yeah, and there was no doubt he was going to start. The owner told us he was going to start when he got drafted. Like, this is as clear as it could possibly be. And it's not like Dylan went out and lit it up to make such a compelling argument that you wouldn't want to see both guys. And I think that this is the natural progression of things. But in terms of yesterday, so he did have the 11 completions, which that's a nice number, but the Browns had 10 sacks. Yeah. So he had one more completion than the Browns defense had sacks. And he had that nice rollout, long throw, which looked exactly like he looked in Colorado, which was fantastic. And I think he'll do a lot of that. And there's only one sack. The over-under, I think, in Vegas was probably like 5 or 6. I don't know. I mean, it was Las Vegas, so it might have been down a little bit. So there's that. And he won his first game since 1995 with Eric Zier.
The first starter.
Rookie. And I was there in 1995 with Eric Zier. I was at that game. We were up by 10 with 2 minutes and 51 seconds left. Cincinnati kicked a field goal, got the onside kick, sent it in overtime. We won in overtime. The whole year was kind of terrible.
Shout out to Easy.
It was the year we moved. But Eric Zier, great guy, had some similar, I'd say, skill sets to Shedeur, and didn't have the best pro career. He had a nice career. So I'd say we're going to see some more games and against better defenses, and we'll see how it progresses.
Yeah, to your point, Coach, I mean, this is where I thought it would work. I didn't think Gabriel would get a concussion, but I thought Shedeur would get 6 games or so to start. You give Gabriel 6 or 7 and then Shedeur some games. So it's the right decision. The owner, of course, but the fans.
Right.
And I think the locker room, Coach, and again, we're not saying Shedeur was fantastic, but he created some excitement.
That look
Gabriel
on Myles Garrett's face after the long completion does speak to something.
I mean, so I agree with you, Nick, in that Gabriel is going to be probably at best a backup or a stopgap quarterback. Shedeur has more upside. Whether you think he's as good as Gabriel at this moment or not, he has way more upside, and he showed that yesterday. He had 3 passes that went for 35 yards or more. 2 of them were legitimately deep passes.
And then the swing pass.
And then, the one that went for the touchdown. And I think the Browns had they did have 1 pass for 35 yards or more, or completion, all year. And that's with Flacco playing several games too. So he just brought an element of big play possibilities that they haven't had. The rest of this season should be about seeing if Shedeur Sanders could possibly be our franchise quarterback next year. Like, I think Stefanski should craft like the offense to the degree he can at this point in the season around Shedeur's strengths and see, could he be our guy next year? Or at least enter the season with a legitimate chance to start next season. If he's terrible over the next 3 or 4 games, then maybe you put Gabriel back in. But I would give him that legitimate shot. That's all that's left in the season, plus Myles Garrett's sack record.
And if he's great, does that end Stefanski's career in Cleveland?
Well, the interesting, I do think that, look,
you think being good would hurt Stefanski?
Yeah. I think it could end his career.
I was going to say, now I think Stefanski is a very good coach, but I agree with Coach, like, if Shedeur lights it up or plays well the rest of the season, it will look like people already feel like Stefanski's been holding him back.
Yeah, I think the term is screwed. If they lose games, Stefanski's out. If they win games, Stefanski's out. The Rams are rolling 34-7 over the Bucs. Stafford's on fire. Another 3-touchdown game. That gives him 30 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. And after holding the Bucs to 7, The defense is now the best scoring defense in the league. Nick, Baker's out, waiting for results. He's getting his shoulder checked out today. You had this team going to the Super Bowl. Are you thinking about abandoning your Tampa Bay to the Super Bowl take?
Really?
Oh, thank you.
I know there's a lot about take integrity in those bylaws.
Yeah. I mean, I'm allowed to.
Really?
How are you?
Starting quarterback injured. Everybody knows that.
Is
That is
it
true.
season
I'm just letting you
One
know. I don't
game,
know.
he might
I don't. No.
We'll see if you are right.
Thank
If
you.
he's out for the
Thank
season.
you, Brew. Or if he's out for a month.
Okay, yeah.
Or
That's
plays and is
significant that
severely
ruins their
hampered like we
season.
saw it happen in Cleveland.
100%
I mean, it was based off my belief in Baker. And now everybody's taking shots because you guys have been just waiting. Coach lives in Cleveland. Didn't like the fact that Baker was getting some local car dealership commercials. Coach thought should have gone his way. Has been trying to.
I'm still bitter about it.
Trying to get out of
Can't get a good card.
Brew somehow invested in Kyle Trask's stock years ago and has been trying to go after him. And so now you guys, just because the team that was 6-2, that Danny said and you co-signed could fall to 6-5 is falling to 6-5, you guys are attacking him now. It feels mean, Brew. I'm just going to tell you right now, it feels mean. The Bucs are in a rough spot. If Baker's healthy, I'm sure they'll be fine. And my faith would never waver, Brew.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know you think they're a cute little team.
They've been proven to just be cute. And if they weren't in the NFC South, they wouldn't even be cute. They wouldn't even be cute if they were in another division. They're in the worst division in football. And that's why they're going to make the playoffs, assuming Baker's healthy.
They might not.
I don't love the fact that Nick abandons quarterbacks so quickly.
He ain't even hurt yet.
He's always like the Rams. He's always
he
like
dropped you like a bad
Baker.
Yeah.
I mean,
No question.
the love only lasts for so long
Yeah,
with Nick.
yeah.
And then
He's got a
suddenly-
wandering eye.
What is true is
He has
this.
got
Can
a
we show
wandering.
Matt Stafford's numbers? Because, sorry, KW, he might have locked up the MVP.
short of having a disaster game.
27
it's
touchdowns.
still,
Unbelievable.
he's clearly in front.
Yep.
But I don't think he's locked it up yet. It's just, it's 6 games left?
No, that's true, but they
Yeah.
also now with the Eagles' loss have an inside track to the 1 seed, and the Rams look amazing. Like,
Can I read you this stat? This is oh, God, no.
Oh, no.
I was.
Wow.
You got something to read. It ain't a stat. You can read it.
I had an interesting stat, but instead of hearing about, wow, cogent analysis, instead I'm about to open up an envelope that most likely will have lipstick on it. Hopefully not, even though the last 5 times they've had lipstick. And every time the Rams win a game, I bring my reading glasses.
Who does it say it's to and from? Nobody knows, KW.
Everyone knows, unfortunately.
Nobody knows.
To Nick from his one true NFC love.
Oh, it's to me?
Please, don't have lipstick on here. Wrong again.
Extra.
Oh.
Wow. Hey, stranger. We know you were watching last night, thinking about what could have been had you followed your throbbing heart instead of your wandering eye to Baker, who we left bruised and battered. That seems... Our friends say you don't deserve us, but we know you still love us, and we darn sure never stop loving you. God almighty. But the time for games is over. You need to show us we are more than a summer fling, that you're ready to take the next step, leave the Bucs and commit to us. Give us a sign today, or we're done forever.
Wow.
Yearningly yours, the Rams to the Super Bowl. They want a sign.
How's that for a sign?
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. Jay Kelly, the new film from Academy Award nominee Noah Baumbach. George Clooney stars as an actor confronting his past and present on a journey of self-discovery, alongside Adam Sandler as his devoted manager. Critics are calling it a declaration of love to the chaotic art of filmmaking, with the Wall Street Journal praising it as a transcendent comedy drama. Jay Kelly is now playing in select theaters and on Netflix December 5th.
Live from New York. It's a show that
It's weird.
thinks that Myles Garrett is going to break the touchdown, the sacks record.
Next week.
No, I mean,
He might do it next week.
but don't
This week.
But still doesn't think he's the MVP.
No, but on the ballot, 5th.
You like that, Coach?
For him breaking the sack record and being considered for MVP, I think that's fair.
No, Brew has him on his.
Just 5th, not to win the award, but like 5th.
Coach is totally going to be totally fine with it.
Yeah, I'm 100% with that. It's just a quarterback award now, but if we incorporate other players, on the verge of breaking this NFL sack record.
And
he might have 30 sacks.
He's on the verge of shattering it
shattering.
on a team that's never ahead.
Right, they're
Like-
always playing from behind.
Right,
They've always
right.
are close games.
Should be like Awesome Player of the Year award.
You just don't like the
5th
verbiage.
is like, it's not like you're going to win it. It's just an acknowledgement, man. That dude was good.
I am ready to have, probably not today, maybe not ever, but I would like where he stacks up in NFL history amongst D linemen. I mean, he's making
Some people were saying in the Lawrence Taylor, Aaron Donald class.
which means you're in the discussion of the greatest ever at your position. Like, as far as DNs go, man.
And I do think Nick's point is valid. They're always behind or in a close game, so it's not like you've got a ton of pass rushing opportunities compared to other rushers.
All right, today, are we ready to talk about the Cowboys going to the playoffs as they get ready to take on the Kansas City Chiefs? Meanwhile, Shedeur wins the starting job. Have the Browns finally found their quarterback of the future? We discussed, but right now, talking about the Chiefs. Got a one-score win, this time in overtime versus the Colts. Mahomes throws for 350. Kelsey had 4 catches for 43 yards. Here he was after the game.
What's it like to have Patrick Mahomes in the huddle in those moments with a chance to win it at the end of the game and then in overtime?
Oh man, you just believe. You just believe every snap.
No, it's the best, man. He's our fearless leader, man. That guy's the most competitive human being I know, and we love him for how he leads this team both on the field and practice throughout the week. And right now, man, it's he's leading us into victory, man.
It's good vibes there now. Super Bowl odds. Rams, Eagles, Chiefs, Seahawks, Colts, Lions, Broncos. Can we get to the Patriots, Bills? Ravens, Patriots, finally.
Ravens.
We also are the number 1 seed in the entire league. Okay, are the Chiefs worthy of having the best Super Bowl odds in the AFC?
Yes, and here's why. So first of all, I've never seen Super Bowl odds this late in the season like this. Like the odds to win the AFC, there are 6 teams that are either at 5-1 or 5.5-1. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago that a couple years ago it felt like, man, Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, that all 3 were about even odds. Right. The Ravens were the favorites because they had the bye, but I can't remember a year where it really felt like, oh, okay, so everyone who we expect to make the playoffs has an equal shot, which is about what the odds are currently saying. The Chiefs obviously not only have they not yet made the playoffs, they entered Week 12 in 9th place, and they leave Week 12 in 10th place because of what he. So they still, their margin of error, thanks to the Jacksonville game, stayed exactly what it was. They win out, they're in. They lose 1 game, they're almost assuredly in. They lose 2 games, they're probably out. So it's still very slim, and I recognize that. But I did not think Patrick played a great game yesterday. But I also think everyone agrees Patrick is the quarterback among any other quarterback in the league that you would want in that situation. Down 10 in the 4th quarter, down at his own goal line in a must-have drive, on 4th down, season on the line type of stuff. He's your number 1 pick. So if you have that player as your signal caller, and then a defense that can do this to Jonathan Taylor, and this is where, and if we show Jonathan Taylor what he had done throughout the year and then yesterday, it's just, I don't know if we can show it or not, we'll show it after, what the Chiefs have stolen from your Patriots is a very acute ability to say, maybe you're going to beat us, but you're not going to beat us doing what you want to do.
Yep.
So because of that, I just think that was there any fan of an AFC team that at the end of that game was like, oh, thank goodness. Now maybe Indy could struggle. Or were they all like, gosh darn it, the Chiefs could have been dead and now they're alive. So, yeah, I think they're the scariest team.
My thing, Coach, is who else? Who else in the AFC would you pick? And the Chiefs don't look great. That was a good win, obviously. Yeah. It's not saying they look so great, but the two best teams as far as record, the Patriots and the Broncos, have completely unproven quarterbacks. And one of them, Bo Nix, hasn't even had a good season other than a few fourth quarters. Then you got Indy, which they just beat the Chiefs. And then the other two typical, teams that are there, usual suspects, Baltimore and Buffalo, haven't looked good. Buffalo beat the Chiefs, but neither of those, they've looked as shaky as the Chiefs, both of them. Mm-hmm. The Ravens especially, they just happen to be in a different division, which helps them. So I just don't now I do feel differently about the Chiefs this year than previous years where when the playoffs started, it was just how you going, can the Ravens beat them or can somebody beat them? And they felt like an overwhelming favorite, even when the Ravens had, home field and all that stuff. But now this year, I don't feel like they'd be the overwhelming favorite.
No.
I'm just saying if you had to pick one team, I don't know who it would be other than the Chiefs. But I do think they're a lot closer to the rest of the field this year than they have been in a while.
Yeah, I would think everybody in the AFC and everybody in the NFL was hoping that the Chiefs were going to go down yesterday and to get them off the board. The quicker you can get them off the board, the better, because you do have the wild card of once Mahomes and that group enters in the playoffs and Andy Reid and all the experience, all their ability to perform under pressure, the versatility of the defense, all those things, as erratic as they've been throughout the course of the season, they know how to win in the postseason, and nobody's better at it, and nobody's been better at it for a long time than Kansas City. So the quicker you can take them off the board, the better. But you do have to give Denver a lot of credit. They did beat Kansas City. They're on this huge, 9 games now, 9-game winning streak. And they have something that's been very pivotal in a lot of Super Bowls, which is the ability to rush the passer. And we've seen it multiple times with the team with the best defensive line and the ability to generate sacks has dominated Super Bowls. So that, to me, makes them very interesting. With New England, you've got to give them credit, too. They're on a winning streak, and it's not their fault who they're playing against, but they haven't had letdowns. And typically, young teams and teams that weren't very good the year before have some letdown at some point in the season. And the other thing you give them credit for, they lost 2 guys yesterday, and we're still able to manage to come out ahead. So there's value in that as well. It's hard to get the Chiefs the best odds now, or the odds that they have now, with the other teams playing as well as they are and as erratic as they are. But you're just banking on the fact that when they get in the playoffs, it's a different season.
Coach, can I ask you a question? I know we kick around like everybody wanted the Chiefs eliminated. I did not, because I want the bye, and that kind of launches us ahead of the Colts. You don't think that the Patriots should have been rooting for the Colts to maybe not get the bye, but get rid of the Chiefs?
I would rather have the bye.
Okay.
But to get rid of the Chiefs
is more important. Really, it's insane.
Either way, it's a little bit of a win-win for New England yesterday. Yeah. So they either would have gotten rid of the Kansas City.
If I were a team, I want the Chiefs out.
Yeah, let me ask.
Under any circumstance.
I think if your goal is to make it as deep into the, hey, I just want to say we made the conference championship game, then I would value the bye above all else. If your true goal is anything short of making the Super Bowl, I'm going to be disappointed, then I think you should have been rooting for the Chiefs to lose. I think your chances of winning a Super Bowl,
sure,
or making the Super Bowl, are improved dramatically for everyone in the AFC by having the Chiefs dead.
It's a fascinating.
That extra week off, though, is huge, and now the fact that only one team gets the extra week off, I mean, it's really valuable to have that time, not just to get healthy, but also to game plan.
Yeah. Eagles were hot, and then they were not. Jalen threw for almost 290, found A.J. Brown. We thought things were going great. Jalen also had 2 rushing touchdowns. But Saquon had one of the worst games of his career, and Dallas scored 24 unanswered points. Should Eagles fans be worried, Coach?
Well, Dallas has a 19-game win streak against NFC East opponents at home. So there's that, and it stays alive. And this is I forget how many years now since Philadelphia's had a collapse like this. So that's a concern as well. But what I'm concerned about is, well, what did they do during the course of this game? They threw the ball how many times? 39. What's the magic number? I mean, how many times do we have to do this?
But they got up 21-0 by throwing.
Okay. So then run the ball after that. Saquon Barkley ran the ball 10 times yesterday. So we throw so maybe it's a crazy stat that I keep bringing out, but every time it happens, they lose. Is A.J. Brown happy? Probably got 10 targets.
Right.
Have we solved the passing game? Yeah, we did. Did we lose the game? Yeah, we did, with a 21-point lead. And Saquon Barkley, I get it. He's not having his best season. But the fact that he ran the ball only 10 times yesterday and you had a 21-point lead, to me, that part is the most problematic. Did you make A.J. Brown happy? Probably happy, right? He got catches. So he's happy. Great. Everybody in Philly happy?
But hold on.
Y'all happy losing? Throw the ball 50 times next time and let Saquon run the ball 8 times or whatever. The number is the number, and I'm not saying it's a magic number, but it's getting pretty magical.
I would not be worried about another supernatural funk. I would not be worried about them, falling. They're going to win the division by a couple games at the minimum. I would be worried that, even though he has been a clumsy messenger, that the alarm A.J. Brown has been sounding all year is not a purely selfish one, even if it's self-motivated, but it is an accurate one, that the offense is underachieving and underperforming, and we saw it again. And I would also, Brew, be concerned that if this is who Saquon is this year, and we can show you, they don't have a fix. Because Jalen has stepped up, obviously, in huge moments, but I don't think to Coach's point, on a week-to-week basis, it can just be like, all right, Jalen, we got 6 games left in the regular season and then, 3 or 4 in the playoffs. Over the next 10-game stretch, drop back and carry us. He's always needed to be supported by a healthy running game. Mm-hmm. And Saquon, it's not a small sample anymore.
But Nick, when you let your marquee back carry the ball only 10 times, how do you know what his average would have been with 10 more carries?
I don't know, but
Saquon has the ability to rip off a 60-yarder in a heartbeat.
Coach, just real quick before you go, Brew. That can be true. But also at this point, isn't it fair to say that, and maybe he bounces back last year, but it would appear the 450 touches last year are weighing on Saquon this year, and they are not going to get. 3.7 yards per carry 11 games into the year is a real number, and I know Eagles fans are all of a sudden killing their offensive line. And especially without Lane Johnson, it's not as good. But it is not. They have Saquon's one of the least productive rushers in the league this year. They don't have one of the worst offensive lines in football. It might have went from best to 10th or something, but it's not that. So that, to me, I'd be worried about that.
No, look, I do agree on Saquon. He may have another good game or two, but I don't think overall he's going to be what he was last year. I also think what's hurting their offense is Jalen is not able to run like he did last year. And I think, that's just as he gets longer in the league, he's not going to be the runner he was. So that takes something from him. Overall, I would not be concerned. And I'm not a guy that picked them to reach the Super Bowl. But I still think when you look at everybody in the NFC, only team that looks great is the Rams. And they did beat the Rams. They've beaten the Rams 4 straight times. So they're not last year in the playoffs, last year in the regular season, year before in the regular season. They're not afraid of the Rams. Not that the Rams couldn't beat them, but there's nobody else in the NFC that's scary. And so my only concern, if I was an Eagles fan, is AJ going to ignite something with a comment, with a tweet or whatever that's going to make this one loss. They should be like, this was one loss. We might lose. They shouldn't think this, but I'm saying it. They might lose 4 or 5 games this year. Yeah. That doesn't mean they're not going to win the Super Bowl.
Special teams fumble, it happens.
Right. So they have to keep it there. and not let it become something like the supernatural funk, which could be ignited by A.J. Brown or some other player making a comment.
Coach, I was kicking around earlier in the show of bringing in an offensive consultant. What do you think about that? We've seen it before work. Remember, Matt Patricia came in for the defense. We saw Dean Pease come in on the defense. Do you think adding more brain power to the Eagles' coaching staff?
They're not opposed to doing that in Philadelphia at all. They've had people there that support the special teams coach. That they're not afraid to make that decision, and there could be some value in it. But I could consult with them right now. Give Saquon the ball more when you got a 21-point lead. Here's my consulting.
30
and then
under, right?
Something that hasn't happened in 26 years, which is blowing a 21-point lead, probably won't happen. So that's free. You don't have to pay me for that one.
That's not, just for the record, it was my.
And don't throw more than 30 passes a game.
We'll be invoicing you.
Yeah, we should invoice.
Mangini Industries.
It's only happened 26 years ago. So.
Can I just real quick, if we can, when Wilds asked that question earlier, I said, Nick Sirianni is an offensive guy. Can he take on a larger hand? I know he's never called play, he's the rare offensive-minded head coach who's always had a very empowered, if you will, offensive coordinator. In fact, 2 years ago, he didn't even get to, or last year, pick his coordinator. But for most teams, if they had an offensive-minded head coach and the offensive scheme is struggling, wouldn't they take a bigger hand in it before you brought in someone from the outside?
Yeah, well, you saw it with Dan Campbell in Detroit. He stepped in, and you saw it with Dan Quinn in Washington. He thought there was a problem, so he stepped in. Yeah, that's typically what happens. But when you're in a situation where the head coach can't hire the coordinators, maybe they feel like he's not necessarily the best person.
Could Big Dom do it?
Yeah, of course. There's no limits to his jurisdiction.
Keep it under 30 and give the other guy the ball. Up by 20.
Meanwhile, in Dallas, Dak and the Cowboys scored 24 straight points to send the Birds home. Here's Jerry Jones.
Brian has got this team with no quit in their vocabulary. They will not quit. I hope all of our fans agree with me that they showed a lot of grit. They showed a lot of want to, and they certainly showed they haven't given up as far as giving us a chance to actually get in the playoffs.
Time for my first reference to the Athletics playoff predictor. We're at 14% right now, but beat the Chiefs and the Lions their next two games. It goes up to 50%.
That's all.
Nice.
Okay.
No, the Lions game,
lost to
for whatever,
the Giants.
No, the Lions game is the game for them. Obviously,
if they lose to the Chiefs, their best they could do is 10-6-1. I don't know if that gets you in.
I mean, that's not going to happen. The Chiefs on Thanksgiving, that won't happen.
But my point is, the Lions game is almost literally doubly the import of the Chiefs game because the Lions are the team most likely to fall out. Actually, the Lions are not even in right now. But they definitely need the Lions to not get in and then also someone else to fall out. But go ahead, KW.
So look, they've made some significant progress, and I know you guys are clowning Shoddy for his post-game.
No, it was cool.
I thought he did a good job with that. But let's just take a look defensively where they've been since the trade deadline, and Jerry made his moves. Okay, so this is where they were prior to the trade deadline. 31st, 30th, 29th, not very good. And now, since the trade deadline, 8th, 9th, 24th, 1st,
that's pretty
14th,
good.
16th.
That run defense all of a sudden.
Well, you've got some legitimate guys inside. They've got some guys that can create problems, and you're starting to see that translate. They've been so explosive offensively. They've made improvements defensively. And, games like this can propel you in the late part of the season because now everybody starts believing it doesn't matter if we're down by 21 points. It doesn't matter what the situation is. We've got a chance, and that belief can be extremely powerful.
I think they've improved greatly on the defensive end. And if you can just be a middle-of-the-road defense with that offense, you got a shot. I just think it's too little too late. When I look at and it's mainly the schedule. Like the Chiefs, Detroit, they could easily lose both of those games. Mm-hmm. And then
they could also easily win.
Well, If they beat the Chiefs, I still won't be like, okay, they really got a great shot. But it'll be a better shot.
They're 3.5-point dogs at home against Kansas City, and they're going to be around 6-point dogs in Detroit. So they're underdogs in both.
Then you still have the Chargers. You still have the Chargers who will be fighting for their playoff life. Yep. And so I just think it's the schedule. I don't even know, and again, if 10-6-1 would get them in. And that means going, 5-1 the rest of the way.
I don't think. Do I think 10-6-1 would get them in? I think 10-6-1 with as long as they beat the Lions. They knock the Lions down there.
10 wins gets you in.
And this is a more powerful 10 wins because you would win. You'd go ahead of every 10-7 team.
Right.
But here, throw up Dallas's schedule again, please, because Brew's looking at the games coming up. I'm looking at what we've seen. Just look at their results. Does this look like a team that's about to reel off 7 of 8? I mean, I understand the Quinnen Williams addition is a significant addition. I also understand that the Raider game is a win everyone in the league gets except for the Patriots in Week 1, oddly. And I give them a ton of credit for the Eagles win.
That's a division.
I just don't think that. I do think they can beat Kansas City, for example. I do think they can beat Detroit.
If you beat the teams that were just in the Super Bowl, we just beat them both.
Well, I don't think it's a question. It's just a matter of the schedule and the time.
And the team that just lost to the Jags, despite winning the turnover battle 4-0, you got beat by double digits at home in Arizona. My point is, I just don't think they have been a consistent team.
Yeah.
And so I would be very disappointed. I would not be shocked if they beat the Chiefs. I would be shocked if they reel off 4 consecutive excellent games.
I'd be
shocked
what I mean? If they make the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they might be a playoff capable, good
caliber
enough
team
at this point. But it's just
Cowboys fans should be rooting for the Panthers tonight.
I'm trying to feel like the Cowboys guy on the
absolutely.
show.
You are.
Oh my goodness!
Because they need the Niners to fall down.
I'm gonna get a huge hat.
Hi, I'm here to pick up my son Milo.
There's no Milo here.
Who picked up my son from school?
Streaming only on Peacock.
I'm gonna need the name of everyone that could have a connection.
You don't understand. It was just the 5 of us.
So this was all planned.
What are you gonna do? I will do whatever it takes to get my son back.
I honestly didn't see this coming. These nice people killing each other.
All Her Fault, a new series streaming now only on Peacock.
What do you hope to show against this Raiders defense, your teammates, yourself, and these Browns fans with your play today?
I'm who they've been looking for. Appreciate it. A win is crazy. It's amazing, off of 1 week of practice, you know what I mean? Just 1 week of practice. So imagine, what a full offseason look like. It get dangerous. Nobody cares if this was 1 week of prep. Who cares? So a lot of people want to see me fail, and it ain't gonna happen.
Coach, Browns needed a win. They got to win. Were you a fan of the comments from Browns' new starting quarterback?
Why? That's how we got here, right? Isn't it? That's how we kind of ended up in the 5th round because of talking like that, because of presenting yourself like that, and I get it. You want to be confident, and that's fine. You should be confident, but you don't need to take it to this level. And it's one of those things where you had 11 completions, and the defense had 10 sacks. You were playing the Raiders, which just fired their offensive coordinator. Things are fairly dysfunctional with that group. And I get it. You had 1 week of practice. Baker Mayfield went to the Rams with less than 48 hours of practice and lit it up when he was there. So 1 week of practice, you were there for OTAs. You were there for training camp. You've been there all season. You've been in every single meeting. You were the backup quarterback. So you had 1 week of practice. How many weeks of practice do you need? So let's see. Let's see now that you get more than 1 week of practice how dangerous you are. Baker woke up feeling dangerous, and he got shipped out. And then he was with 2 more teams before he became dangerous again. So let's see. I think that there's some value in humbleness. Humbleness is not necessarily a negative trait in the NFL. Confidence is fantastic. It can be contagious, but there's some value also in being somewhat humble and appreciating the opportunities you have, as opposed to, making everything adversarial with the current coaching staff.
I don't disagree with what you said. I will give him a pass on the pregame because he was asked, "What are you hoping to do?" So he said, "I'm hoping to show them, the fans and myself, that." What was his direct quote?
I'm what you've been
waiting for. So that's fine.
That's great.
That's fine. If she's like, "What are you hoping to show them?" Now, if she said, "What are you about to do?" and I'm about to show everybody I'm the one they've been waiting for. That's a little different. So I'll give him a pass on that. The post game, I didn't like that. And what I would say to Shedeur is, when you talk this way, you better be great. People did not like Muhammad Ali. Black people, I'm serious. Black people did not like Muhammad Ali when he was Cassius Clay and before he was champion, and he's talking all this stuff, calling the rounds. They didn't like that. But once he proved, he backs it up, then everybody loved it. It became part of his lore. Shedeur Sanders, his dad, could talk it and walk it. If you can't walk it, then I don't think just fans or media won't like it. I think in your locker room, it won't go well with a lot of players. So that's the thing. When you talk, because I like Shedeur, but when you talk this way, you better be able to back it up. That's all I got to say.
So I have long said I would prefer honest arrogance to false humility in my athletes. If you are a naturally humble person, then, great. But if you think I'm just the greatest, then I think we can see through it when guys are faking how awesome they think they are. Right. And so part of me wants to say, good for him. You know what I mean? Salute, good for you, man. You really believe in yourself. My hurdle here is because Shedeur is in such a unique position, because all of the athletes we've talked about in mostly the history of sports television have been at least starters, if not stars. So the context of, I want you to be, if you're arrogant, be arrogant. They are not guys typically fighting for their jobs. And when I watched Shedeur's postgame, my honest reaction to it was, oh man, I still don't think he quite either gets or acknowledges the actual position he's in the hierarchy of his own team and of the NFL. Because when he says, imagine what it'll look like with a whole offseason, to me, that assumes he is going to walk into a season as the unquestioned starting quarterback and get that whole offseason. And my honest feelings are, while I root for that to be the case, my money would be on, that'll literally never happen. I do not think.
Unless he's great.
No, right. And I'm guessing, my prediction is he won't be great the rest of the season. But right now, do I think there will be, at any point in Shedeur's career, a team where he has just established himself as, I am the starting quarterback on this team? I don't think that's going to happen. And it would be just a huge upset based on where he was drafted. And so I think he is going to walk into a offseason this coming offseason, very similar to the one he's in right now, where you are fighting for reps, where you are not top on the depth chart. And it just, and I'm not going to, I think he's a charming, good-natured human being. But I think there is an element of, delusion's the wrong word, but he thinks that, it seems to me that he thinks, man, that I was drafted in that spot for reasons that have nothing to do with how good of a quarterback I am. Sure. And now that I'm having a chance to show everyone how good of a quarterback I am, I'm back where I should have been, which is first round draft pick and be treated as such. And while that would be unbelievable for Cleveland if he plays up to that level, that's not how I think this is going to go. And I think that's why it struck my radar of, oh man, I don't think you're going to get what you're talking about getting, at least no time in the next couple years. And so that.
And look, the Cleveland coaching staff could be wrong on Shedeur, but when you take a victory lap like that and take shots at the coaching staff, because that's what it is.
I didn't read it like that.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine if I got reps. Imagine if this happened. Imagine if. So he's taking shots, and so those guys still ultimately control your destiny, at least during the short term and in the off season. I just don't think it. I don't think it builds a positive relationship where he could have come out of this game and had some more credibility and built on this, as opposed to instantly coming off and making it like confrontational again.
All right, head to New England, where the Patriots are the first team to get to 10 wins with a win in Cincinnati over the Bengals. Currently lead the entire NFL.
Have you guys had a bye?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Play the Giants, and then we got a bye. Drake played an ugly game by his standards. What's that look like? Glad you asked. 294. Touchdown, interception. It was ugly.
He had 2 touchdowns, just like.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns, just like Caleb had 4.
He did have 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
but
one to the other team.
One to the Bengals. It was ugly. I told you it was ugly. Coach, do you think the Patriots looked like the number 1 seed against the Bengals?
I didn't feel like they looked like the number 1 seed against the Bengals. I thought the fact that they were down like they were to Cincinnati was surprising.
As always,
That was rude of him, Coach. That was quite rude.
I actually thought it was a fair point. Didn't feel great about it, Coach. Coach, you can continue. I usually come out of there with a lot of confidence, but I think we're actually on the same page.
It's hard to follow that. I didn't love the hole that they dug. I didn't love the pick 6. I did really like the fact that they were able to fight back the way they were, and that they lost the whole left side of the offensive line.
Well, great.
And still figured out a way to win the game. Again, they don't get to choose who they play against and what those situations are. And the thing that they've done really well is handle whoever's in front of them. And I think Mike Vrabel's done an excellent job of keeping him focused on just the next thing. You don't hear him talking about the playoffs. You don't hear him talking about the number 1 seed. You don't hear him talking about anybody else. They just talk about what's in front of them, and that's the formula for a long run.
Coach, first, if you recognize these guys, they used to be the Prince's guys until Nick dropped them.
I like these gentlemen so much, and as it happens,
he likes them.
The
but
Jags are not quite as relevant, so we executed a trade. That was all. Go
Prince
ahead.
is a rough watch.
Like him as well.
I mean, 7-4. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, they didn't look like the number 1 seed. I'm sorry, Wilds. They didn't. But it's a good win. And I will give you guys this, even though you've had the easy schedule, you have some good wins, obviously Tampa, Buffalo, and you've blown out like some of they blew out Cleveland. That's impressive. I mean, even though Cleveland's, it is impressive to score 32.
No, I agree. Against that defense.
32 on that defense. You blew out Carolina, which is playing a pretty good football. So I won't think they're the best team in AFC till they're in the Super Bowl. Just because of the youth of the quarterback and they weren't very good last year. But I don't think they're the true number 1 seed or the best team.
We are the true number 1
didn't look. You are that, but not the best team in my view.
How are you feeling, KW?
I feel like I feel about parenting.
Wow.
Okay, everyone's parents on the set.
Strap in. I love this.
You want to provide your kids with a safe environment to make mistakes and learn. And now that we have gotten 10 wins, not that the Patriots are kids, but Mike Vrabel and the Patriots have a safe environment to make mistakes for the playoffs. That's how I'm viewing this. We have so much of a good lead that we're in the playoffs, basically. We've got the Giants on Monday night who just fired their DC and fired their head coach. That's a safe environment to learn. Then we have the bye, get healthy, Ravens and Bills. I kind of want to lose one of these games. It sounds crazy, but I want to have the bar rescue stress test. Like, what's going on? What's wrong? What needs to be fixed immediately? And it's hard to get it against Joe Flacco and a Jamarless Bengals squad.
So just 2 quick points. Or one question to you and then one very quick point. All that sounds well and good, but the most important thing going into the playoffs is Drake May is healthy. And how concerned are you about those offensive line injuries? Like, I know, like,
it's not great.
I mean, he's already sacked at one of the highest rates in the NFL, and now we lose the whole left side of the line. That's a problem.
So listen, they have to have Will Campbell for the postseason. He can, because you guys have this big cushion, he can miss time, but they have to have him for the postseason. The other side, and I know we're here to talk about the Patriots, so just 10 seconds on this. Jamar Chase should give back another game check. The Bengals are a lot. I think they can win that game with him.
Oh, yeah.
And Joe Burrow is back on Thursday, and the Steelers are falling apart. They play the Ravens, and it's like, man, you could have been there. Yeah. You could have. I understand it would have been uphill, but
they had the ball in the 26.
Right. They had a chance with T. Higgins going out and Chase not playing. Like, I really like Jamar Chase is a great player. I think he is on a Hall of Fame trajectory at a tough position to make it. Him not being there because he spit on a guy is outrageous.
Yeah. And just before you play us off, gentlemen, this is quickly to our viewers because I was a little too humble there. I know we talk about a lot of 6-5 teams being the best team. But the Patriots are currently the best team, actually. Gentlemen, thank you as always. More first things first, right after the break. Oh, right up.
Grabbing the holidays by the boughs with Duluth. Step 1, hire a mall Santa to handle snow removal.
Ho, ho, ho! My sciatica.
Step 2, hit Duluth Trading and load up on fire hose pants, buck naked underwear, pocket pack bibs, free swinging flannel, and all kinds of ingenious gear you won't find anywhere else. Grab the holidays by the boughs and shop Duluth Trading, online and in store.
Thanksgiving Day on Fox. Bruce Packers versus the Lions. Interesting.
That's a huge game.
Huge game.
Lions might miss. Lions window may have closed.
Window closed seems harsh, but they could be in trouble this season. Very lucky to win this past weekend.
Yeah.
Need a 59-yarder to force OT.
Coverage starts 11 on Fox. Happy Thanksgiving.
Jahmyr Gibbs on your ballot, bro?
Maybe. Steelers gave up 31 points to the Bears without Aaron Rodgers, who doesn't play defense anyways. Loss drops them to 6-5, but a bad 6-5. Not like a lot of the other teams. The playoffs started today, which would be odd. The Steelers would not be in it. Let's look at this graphic. Teams that have allowed over 30 points most games this season. The Bengals, who all we ever talk about is their bad defense. Then the Steelers, and then the Giants, who fired their head coach and defensive coordinator. Is anyone ready to write off the Steelers?
I'm ready to go a step further. And write off.
Close off the franchise?
I'd be willing to discuss Mike Tomlin trades this offseason.
Interesting.
And the comp I would use, I know it wasn't traded, he was just fired, but Andy in Philly.
Yeah.
Like, excellent coach. You know what I mean? But maybe, is it best for everyone involved? Fresh start it. And for Tomlin, they are, once again, he looks like he's going to be a victim of his own success in this regard. They're not going to be at the top of the draft.
Nope.
You know what I mean? You're still going to be looking for, like, is Kyler Murray going to be the quarterback there? Are they going to use the 16th pick on a quarterback?
Jameis.
Right. And so, or Aaron at age 42, like, coming back again. So I do think they squandered a golden opportunity of the Bengals having, not having Burrow for months and the Ravens starting 1-5, and the fact that the Ravens have caught them before they've even played them is crazy after the 1-5 start.
Yeah.
And so, Coach, I'm ready to write off the Steelers season, and I'd consider like, hey, Giants, you want to trade us the 35th pick of the draft, whatever your second-round pick is, for Mike Tomlin? Like, that's something to me.
Yeah, I'm not really writing them off because I never wrote them in. I didn't think they were going to be very good. I thought they would be similar to what they've been and maybe a little bit better than last year because Aaron Rodgers performed somewhat better than Russell and Justin Fields did. But I didn't expect their defense to be as bad as it is. Right. And to Kevin's point, the fact that they're in the category with the Bengals and one game less at 30-plus points than the Bengals is pretty amazing. But I don't think this is a Mike Tomlin problem. This is a quarterback problem, and it's been consistent where once Ben Roethlisberger left, like we see with a lot of organizations, when you lose a great quarterback, trying to replace that guy it's a never-ending challenge. So the head coach works, but you've got to solve that problem, and they've been trying to bargain basement it for quite a few seasons now. I guess they did have the one first-round draft pick that didn't work out, but they've got to keep working that element of it as opposed to blowing it up and getting rid of Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, look, first of all, if I'm the Giants, I would do that in a heartbeat. Give up a second-round pick for Mike Tomlin, establish a culture. They got some talent already. I don't think Pittsburgh will do it. I think Kyler Murray is a real possibility there. And then they just, hey, we got Mike Tomlin, and we run it back and see. Yeah, I'm like, all of us thought they would.
You have to draft one too.
But Nick's point is it's not going to be a high. But you can get one late in the first round or second round.
Jordan Love wasn't high. Roethlisberger wasn't high.
Yeah, I would draft somebody. But I didn't think they'd make the playoffs anyway. But I'm looking at their schedule: Buffalo, Detroit.
Brutal.
And let's say they even split with the Ravens, which I hope the Ravens can sweep them, but that's a real possibility. It's probably most likely they split. That still makes you 9-8, which isn't going to get you in.
Well, that's perfect.
So I think at best they're probably 9-8.
It's a winning season.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they'll do and miss the playoffs.
I tell you this much: if Buffalo goes one and done in the playoffs. And I would say same with Baltimore. I don't think Baltimore would do it. If I'm one of those teams, I'd probably trade my first-round pick for Mike Tomlin.
So if you were Baltimore,
I'm just saying I don't think Pittsburgh's going to trade Mike Tomlin to Baltimore. But I think you
don't need a rebuild. If I'm Mike Tomlin, I don't want to do a rebuild.
And if I'm Mike Tomlin, maybe he thinks he can, but we don't know that Mike Tomlin can pick a quarterback. You know what I mean? He never had to. And so he's had to, but he hasn't been able to do it. He had Big Ben when he got there.
If Mike Tomlin gets fired this year, he just sits out, does TV for a year, and then signs some record-breaking deal for whatever organization he wants to a year from now, because everybody will want him.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's any way they fire him.
No, I don't know. I think he's worth a late first-round pick.
Live from New York, it's First Things First Overtime. Danny Parkins, Kevin Wildes, Nick Wright, and Chris Broussard. Power-packed episode of Overtime today.
And this table was undefeated yesterday.
That's right.
Bears.
Parkins' picks went undefeated.
No. Nick's picks did. Nick's picks did.
You had the 3-0 week?
2-0-1.
2-0-1.
A push. None of you.
What about the lock?
It's not bad.
Told you the lock. I told you the lock. How'd your lock of the week go?
It hit Rams.
Let's go!
So what was your overall?
It was 1-2.
1-2. The Patriots couldn't cover for me.
He had. What were we? 7.5?
I got it 6.5.
Too much. Let's go.
Nicholas gave you some trouble.
No, sometimes we're acting a little too Bears Betsy. They got that cornered. Also, great podcast, by the way. We're number one, but I think, are tougher. Yeah. Did the Eagles collapse, or did Dallas just mount an amazing comeback? Meanwhile, it's time to take the Bears seriously.
By your metric, Wildes, of how you're grading the Patriots, the answer is definitively yes.
I disagree.
You said we have to call the Patriots the best.
Well, we are the best.
Right, so they are the best in the NFC North.
It's
by that metric. It's the exact same.
We're the best in all, not just the NFC North. All of them.
I understand.
Take them all, combine them, sort them. 10 wins.
Light schedule so far.
Yeah.
For the most part.
You're too quarterbacks.
You know what? Not an AD. I'm not trying to schedule stuff.
No, I'm just saying that's you and the Bears.
Right now, Chiefs win. They're 6-5. Here's Patrick Mahomes.
it's kind of the urgency thing. I mean, obviously you want to be urgent, but it was do or die type thing where you had to make something happen, and guys made plays happen throughout the entire team. It wasn't one person. It was everybody. Everybody made plays in the biggest moments, and we found a way to win.
What was the number one reason the Chiefs won?
Because they're champs, and they weren't going to go out like that. Okay. And I know they're not the defending Super Bowl champs, but they are the 3-time defending AFC champs. They have won the conference 5 of the last 6 years. They have played for the conference championship 7 consecutive seasons. And their season was not ending at home before Thanksgiving at the hands of Daniel Jones. And everyone was going to have a hand in it not ending that way. Because this was not purely a Patrick Mahomes pulls it out the fire. And Patrick played really well in the fourth quarter and overtime, but they also did have a 3-and-out in the fourth quarter. You know, when the 4th and 3 to Rasheed was, I think it was the 4th down pass to Rasheed Rasheed had to do more of that work than Patrick did. But defensively, they took the number one scoring offense, the number one everything offense, the number one, oh my God, how much you got to respect the culture, else you don't respect football offense, and made them look terrible. They made Jonathan Taylor look pedestrian, which no one's been able to do. I'm going to go ahead and say ever in his football life. Oh. Certainly not at Wisconsin, and no one in the NFL. I doubt anyone in high school did. And Xavier Worthy came through on a huge 3rd and 7. Rasheed finally, for the first time since his first game back from the suspension, looked like how he did before the suspension. And then Patrick, of course, did Patrick things in the most clutch moments. Butker, who has been shaky all year, they weren't tough kicks, but hit clutch kick after clutch kick. And Steve Spagnuolo dialed up a run blitz on the the sneaky forgotten play of the game is 3rd and 1 in overtime. They did give it to Jonathan Taylor after putting the game in Daniel Jones's hands. And I think if he gets 0 yards, they go for it. But he lost 2 yards. And so listen, the Chiefs, Danny, and myself, as you witnessed, were
going through it.
I'm going through it because it looked like, I always tweet never a doubt, but there was a little tiny doubt doubts creeping in. But they weren't going to go out like that, and that's why they won.
So, what I'm going to say, I feel like will be taken as taking something away from the Chiefs, and I really don't mean it to, because you have the Chiefs part of it covered. I give them the benefit of the doubt. Also, that game to me felt a lot like last year, where the Chiefs were 12-0 in one-score games, and they were 15-2, and we woke up and we were like, are they good? How did that happen? The Bengals committed a penalty, and then they made a 50-yard field goal, or there was a blocked kick. It was just weird. The Colts lost their minds. They were up, 20-9 entering the fourth quarter. And they had the guy who is 3rd in the NFL for MVP odds. And they're like, I don't know. I just don't think he should be involved in the game plan anymore. That was one of the most lopsided, or was the most lopsided, fourth quarter and overtime in terms of 2 teams against each other in 3 years. I can show it to you in terms of yardage differential. And it was just, what happened? The Chiefs outgained the Colts by 218 yards over the course of fourth quarter and overtime. And Jonathan Taylor had 3 rush attempts. He had 1 yard. They gained 0 first downs. Nick, we're watching the game together, and we could have had a counter. Because we're like, that's 3 consecutive pass attempts for Daniel Jones. That's 4.
They did 8 straight
5.
at one point.
Got to 8. What? Yeah. With a double-digit lead on the Chiefs.
But that's okay because Daniel
quarter.
Jones has to be respected, and he's not going to turn into a pumpkin. And he's obviously, you know what I mean. He's been on the. He's like that's the
he's
thing
not
is
as good as Jonathan Taylor.
I get it, but Jonathan Taylor is being shut down, and the whole. This is where, and I don't mean to interrupt.
I know.
But the reason that you have been forced. You got to respect the Colts. You have to take the Colts seriously. Make it not just about the uniforms, understand what they're doing is a different Daniel Jones. And the Colts in that game treated Daniel Jones the way many in the media have been demanding he be treated. Respect him. Yeah. And if you are a legitimate franchise quarterback, a guy that the Colts clearly believe in. They traded away their ability to draft a quarterback. They're going to give him a bunch of money. And the other team is loading the box and daring you to throw. And by the way, everyone's been able to – the Chiefs can't get a pass rush. Bo Nix threw on him. Herbert threw on him. They've had Daniel Jones, go show everybody – go make a couple plays. And the Colts, I think, bought into the hype a little bit yesterday that Daniel Jones was going to be able to do that, and he flatly was not able to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to stay with the Colts because I agree with what you guys said about the Chiefs. They showed championship mettle. There's no question about it. And Danny, I think they showed why, while they're certainly not head and shoulders above the rest of the AFC, I think it's very close.
Yeah.
But if they get in the playoffs, they should be the favorites in the AFC. Even if they're not a great team, they barely get in, they're 9-8, whatever it might be, just because of that medal and that recent success, you have to favor them. The Colts got exposed. They did get exposed. They shut down Jonathan. The Chiefs said Taylor's not beating us. And the teams that have beaten the Colts this year have done the exact same thing. So the Rams, they held Jonathan Taylor, held him to 76 yards on 17 carries. That's 4.5 yards a carry. Jones couldn't deliver a win. Pittsburgh they were harder on him than Kansas City. They held him to 45 yards on 14 carries. Daniel Jones couldn't beat him. Yesterday we saw with the Chiefs. In all three of those losses, Jonathan Taylor has failed to score a touchdown rushing the football. So they've said, he's not beating us. Can your quarterback beat us? And the quarterback hadn't been able to. And so here's the other thing. And I think and people are going to laugh when I say, I think the Colts will make the playoffs.
Oh, it's not a lot.
The schedule is a monster.
And yes.
They got Houston twice, which is starting to play well. Jacksonville twice, and then Seattle and San Francisco.
Yes,
all good, tough teams that they have to play.
They'll make it. I think they'll make it.
I would think so, but come on, they're gonna have to earn it. And if they beat Houston and Jacksonville, fine.
And the one last thing, when did Daniel Jones stop running? That's the other part, that I was as a Chiefs fan nervous about, that there was going to be one of these times where they actually cover it all up, and then Daniel Jones does what Herbert did on the play to ice that game. It's okay, I can just run. And it seemed like he wasn't even looking for that.
But remember, he took a ton of hits in New York, and he's just,
that's a big part of his game, or it should.
He's a great runner.
Yeah,
great athlete.
Not just good. All right, let's head to Chicago. Caleb throws 4 touchdowns, only one to the Steelers. That's the Bears.
He didn't throw a touchdown to the Steelers.
Yeah, it was
he fumbled.
He kind of went like this. He fumbled a touchdown to the Steelers. Put some respect.
It was
please.
Something bad.
No interceptions. Let's just focus on the positive.
Bears 8-3. It is 4 touchdowns. Here's Caleb postgame.
We're an 8-3 team in the National Football League, and so we feel good where we're at, but we do got to get better. And I would say, we don't feel like we're the same old Bears. We pull through for each other when it matters most, and so we got to keep getting better. Like I said, it starts with me on my side, and then we'll keep growing from there.
How seriously should everyone take the Bears?
Very seriously. Very seriously. They're going to the playoffs. Okay. They're 8-3. They're playing for the 2 seed on Black Friday against the champs. They're sixth in total yards, 8th in scoring, 2nd in rushing, 1st in takeaways,
27th in scoring defense.
They've won 8 of their last 9. Brew, they had 5 defensive starters out with injury. 2 more defensive starters get injured during the game. They held the Steelers to 7 points in the second half. I'm just saying. I mean, are they a great team? No. Are they good in this parlance of how we talk about the NFL? Absolutely. What more do you want? They're beating who's on their schedule.
I want a defense that's not 27th in scoring.
They'll get healthy.
Okay?
Yeah.
And, a lot of people are hurt. I don't want to hear that. Here's the other thing.
Oh, my
God. They may make the play. I think they're the 3rd best team in their division.
Based on what, though? That's what I would ask.
Based on what they have beat one team with a winning record. Pittsburgh, with Mason Rudolph playing quarterback. They have, now look,
it's not who you play, but when you play
who's in front of you. But when you put a good team in front of them, they get shellacked. All right? Detroit beat them by a mile. 52-21. Was that the score?
I'm not here to talk about
So here's the thing. You've got the Green Bay twice and Detroit again. So you're going to have a chance to prove it. I think you may make the playoffs, but I think Green Bay and Detroit are better.
So that's...
And we'll see. You get your chance to prove it.
So here's what I would... I think everyone's gut is, Detroit's obviously better, and Green Bay, should be better. Based on this season, I don't know that we can say that. You're right, Detroit killed them early in the year. I understand that. Detroit is damn lucky to not have lost yesterday.
Yes.
Detroit is changing coordinators. Detroit is dealing, while you're right, everybody's injured in different ways. The Laporta injury is big for them. It took Gibbs having an all-time game and them hitting a 60-yard field goal for them just to get to overtime against the Giants. So based on what we've seen from Detroit this year, I don't know that they're clearly better than Chicago. I understand they crushed them head-to-head, which matters, but matters less as we are months removed from it. And we'll see what they look like.
Right. Early in the season.
And Green Bay, I'm yet to be impressed by Green Bay over the course of 60 minutes. I'm pretty consistently impressed by their defense. So, that would be my argument is I think you can make a case for any of those three teams that they have the highest upside or that they are the best in that division. So if we're going to take the Lions and Packers seriously, I'll take the Bears seriously.
Seriously, what is seriously? I mean, they may make the playoffs. I take them seriously to make the playoffs.
They have as good of a chance to make the conference championship game as any team in the NFC North. Because now that the Lions are going to be going outdoors for the playoffs, I don't know that I like Goff or Love outdoors more than I like Caleb. I don't know that. I like
Jordan Love.
I like Love.
I don't. I like Caleb. I think Caleb is a better player than Jordan Love. I think Goff is obviously higher in the quarterback pecking order than Caleb, but Goff outdoors worries me.
Also, can we I can't argue the pedigree stuff, and I can't argue who they've beaten. But we can apply that logic to a ton of teams in the NFL. The Patriots are the 1 seed, and they have 10 wins. But if you do a side-by-side comparison of just the bones
they beat Buffalo and Tampa Bay.
They beat Buffalo and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is 1 game over 500. They're 6-5.
Yeah, but just Buffalo.
Okay. And listen, I picked Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl, and some of the teams on the Bears' schedule have not been as good as we thought they were going to be, and they lost to Baltimore with Snoop Huntley and gave up 30 points. That's not a great moment for them. But in terms of we could put it up, strength of schedule, strength of victory, they each have 6 one-score wins. They've played the 2 easiest schedules so far this year, and they're scoring the same number of points, and they're both in first place.
I'll rest my case.
Well, but that's the thing. But we talk about the Patriots like they could go to the Super Bowl.
Patriots have a better defense. That's a big difference.
It's a huge – it is. I agree with you. Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, Kyler Gordon, and Jalen Johnson all should be back at some point this year. Jalen's their best defensive player. That's 3 of their, 5 best defensive players on the team. Bears defense should get better as the season goes on.
I'm going to start calling you the doctor. I love talking about injuries.
Yeah,
whether it's the Chargers or the Bears. But everybody's got injuries.
Yeah, but it puts context into what you're watching.
Patriots also have injuries.
Yeah, but they just suffered them. So the difference is, your concerning injuries are the ones that just happened.
Yeah.
The
Bears have been dealing all year.
Niners have injuries.
I am personally, I'm not interested in injuries about guys that aren't coming back. Mm-hmm. I am interested in, this has been a weakness, but these guys are going to come back. And if those Bears guys, if the biggest question is the defense, and it's hey, half the defense is coming back, that would be helpful. Just like for the Patriots, if they all of a sudden look awful over the next 3 weeks, but it's hey, our left tackle and left guard are coming back in week 18, that'll matter.
It's hard for us to look awful. And Danny, I don't know if we have Caleb's interception. It's not an interception. It's a fumble in the end zone. The reason why, the big difference, and this is going to be a fuzzy analysis, but it's true. When you watch the Patriots and the Bears, this type of wacky stuff just doesn't happen when you're wearing a New England Patriots
That's true,
uniform.
but Caleb hasn't thrown a pick 6 as bad as the one Drake threw yesterday his whole career. His whole career he hasn't. Drake's pick six yesterday was not pressured. It was not tough coverage. He just sailed it.
He just
sailed it.
He was just loose with one pass.
No, and this right. But how is that different than this?
Because this is weird situational awareness of getting sacked, of running away from T.J. Watt in the end zone and then getting tossed
Caleb's
down.
escaped everything this year. He got sacked 68 times last year. He's been sacked 17 times in 11 games. Like this was a mistake. It was a bad moment.
It's an odd play. I'm just saying there's a lower floor for the Bears quarterback play than there is for Drake May.
Oh, listen. I agree with that.
There's a lot of stuff you said.
No, I agree, but I think that I guess my point. I agree with that, but I think the single worst throw Drake's made all year he made yesterday, and
the Drake's interception was so.
You just don't
bad.
Yeah.
It was just like it wouldn't show up in any high. If you were producing a blooper show, and be like, put this play in, you'd be like, well, he just kind of just lost the ball a little bit.
Right, and I guess that you, for some reason you're deciding that means it's fine.
You are really all in.
I just don't know that other people.
Stuff happening.
I don't know that other people view it the way you do.
It was just so bad that it
You're
doesn't
totally
count.
right.
Look at it. It's not that bad of a throw. It's just a miss. It wasn't a bad decision. It almost felt like a hand mistake. It wasn't like a mental mistake.
I got it.
Just like I was like, sorry about that.
That
it was like this. This is what it was like. It was like if you ever taken a ball of paper,
make it exciting.
Take a ball of paper and throw it to the garbage. It felt like a missed jump shot, honestly, and he just missed it. You're like, oh, be like, wow, that's the worst shot I've ever seen. It's like it was a missed 12-foot jumper.
KW, I'm just telling you.
That's not going on the NBA's wacky days.
KW, I think you're the only person who's drawing some major distinction there. That's all.
If you think Drake May's pick six in that play running away from T.J. Watt when he's getting tossed around and given the...
I don't think that. I think that your decision just that pass was so bad it doesn't count. And in fact, I'm going to compare
it counts, but it's not the worst play in the world. We also have 2 more wins.
You do.
Like take all the
play an extra game.
Who was it, the Jets or the Titans? How many wins the Jets have?
God only knows. I imagine
2 more games is a lot of games. It's a quarter of your games. We have a quarter more.
Played an extra game.
He's really in on
it. We have a quarter more.
Much easier.
We got to move on.
You're 6 feet tall and I'm 6'8". We're not the same height.
Wow.
Is that not true? Not even
the defense press.
I would be 8 feet tall.
KW, we got to move. KW, Danny,
well, he's out here saying the Bears or the Patriots.
I'm 8 feet tall. I mean, my God.
They both have played terrible
I'm
schedules.
8 feet tall. He's 6 feet tall. Match up. Try to get a rebound. Finally.
He's all
doesn't
in.
know how to
He's
handle
all
success.
in.
He's been doing this show for 5 years.
There's 8-win teams like there's 10-win teams.
He can't handle it.
There's 5-win teams like 3-win. Cowboys mounted a huge comeback, or the Eagles fell asleep at the wheel, gave Dallas the game, or a little bit of both. Those are your options for the storylines of this game. Here's Jalen Hurts.
I think overarching, we gotta find a way to finish the game, and we gotta find some consistency in what we do. Definitely the tell of 2 halves, but in the end, we didn't play a complete game as a team. And today it got us. You give a lot of respect to Dallas and their team, how they competed.
Are you surprised as an offense at this point that you have consistency week in, week out?
No. We've been here before. We'll figure it out.
Danny, what was the headline for you? The Eagles collapse or the Cowboys come back?
The Cowboys come back. I was shocked that they're almost 7-1 to make the playoffs at this point. It doesn't seem that ridiculous to me all of a sudden. You split with Kansas City and Detroit, and then you got to run the table. And I know running the table is tough, and it involves Chargers and a couple of road division games, but their offense is legit. Mm-hmm. And even if they don't, I just think all of a sudden if you're a Cowboy fan, you can look at this and be like, man, we are building something here. And Troy, listen, you can laugh. Troy is the researcher for the OT, named after Aikman, diehard Cowboys fan. He wanted to remind me of this fact. And it's kind of amazing. If you just give Dak a league average defense, league average is 23.1 points allowed. So if you just say, what are the...
you mean this year if they had a league average?
Yeah. But what's the Cowboys' record over the last 5 years if they allow 23 points per game or less? They're the best team in football.
Wow.
The best team in football.
Wow.
So I don't know.
You know what?
It's just like
if you gave them Derrick Henry too, I bet they might be the best team in football. How about Mahomes on the Cowboys? I mean, I like Dak, but if they had Mahomes, oh my gosh, they might have won a Super Bowl.
Okay, that backfired.
I'm just saying, like, really?
All right.
Really?
What? He got me.
I knew that. Troy, I knew that was going to go bad. Brew doesn't like those.
I'm just saying.
That was my idea.
Why did you hate that?
I didn't my idea.
I laughed. That's not why I laughed when you said the playoff thing. No, when you said Cowboys fans can be like, oh, here we got something going, even if they don't make the playoffs. Because here I laugh because you know what they could say? We might be where we were 3 years ago.
Sure.
With Mike McCarthy. That's the thing. This has all been turned around. Even though you got essentially the same players now, minus Micah Parsons because of your own foolishness. At best, you're getting back to where you were a few years ago. Your quarterback ain't getting any younger. He's not in his second year like
he's
Drake
playing
May.
great.
He's playing great, but
awesome.
I'm just saying, it's win now. It's not about let's keep building. It is win now. And I don't think they have a great chance to make the playoffs this year. I agree with you. I think that's the story. Because they are, like I said earlier, I'm not arguing they may not be a playoff caliber team now. I just think it's probably too little too late with that schedule.
I don't know.
I don't think that's the bigger story. There was one team on the field yesterday that can win the Super Bowl, and that's Philadelphia. And they have they have had major offensive problems all year long. One of the best players on their team has been sounding the alarm. Again, maybe in inopportune ways, but he hasn't been wrong, and it showed again yesterday. They scored with no effort. I shouldn't say no effort, but effortlessly is what I meant to say. First 3 possessions, and then could do nothing else the rest of the way. There's no reason for that to be the case. Their superstar running back this year has been replacement level. Their quarterback, head coach, offensive coordinator, and star receiver seem to be in some weird proxy battle where we don't know who's on whose side, and I don't see a solution. The Cowboys, Quinnen Williams is a very good player. He does not remake a defense by himself. Everybody gets right against the Cowboys defense. This team didn't. That's, to me, the bigger story.
Quinnen Williams had career-high pressures in this
No,
game.
he was excellent. I mean,
Again?
It was great.
Because his first game, he had career high quarterback hits.
Yeah. He's playing great.
I understand, they're like the Bengals last year. If the Bengals defense all of a sudden got good, they can beat anybody. I think they're going to beat the Chiefs on Thanksgiving.
You think they're going to beat the Chiefs on Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Well,
I think going to Dallas on Thanksgiving, the place is going to be rocking.
Wow. Chiefs never seen nothing like that.
Welcome back. The Shedeur-led Browns rout the Raiders yesterday behind 209 passing yards, a touchdown, and an interception by Sanders. Browns scored 24 points, and he was named QB1 going into the game against San Francisco, even though Dylan Gabriel has cleared concussion protocol. Shedeur, not surprisingly, had a lot to say before, during, and after the game. We're going to listen to it all.
Just because I didn't get the summer reps, just because I wasn't in the best situation, for me to be prepared to go out there and execute, like from a summer standpoint, that's how life is. Everybody's not in everybody's not in the best situation, but it's no excuse. You got to go out there and perform. Like, there's no choice, there's no question. Nobody cares if this was 1 week of prep. Who cares? So a lot of people want to see me fail, and that ain't going to happen.
So there was a lot going on there.
I like it.
What was your biggest takeaway from Shedeur's day?
Shedeur Sanders can be the solution the Cleveland Browns are looking for at quarterback.
Wow.
Yeah, and I said it. And I know a lot of you don't want to hear it, but I love it. I love the moxie. I love his confidence. See, as he showed yesterday, I think, sure, he threw a screen and went 40 yards, right? It's nothing to throw a parade over it. But what we needed to see, like we said last week when we were sitting here, we needed to see him look like an NFL quarterback, and I thought he did that. He commanded the huddle. The ball was out of time. He showed poise. He played with purpose. And listen, the defense did all the heavy lifting. He just had to be the standard, and that's what we wanted to see because to do that, he had to earn a second start, and he's gotten it. So for me, I like it all, man. I love the fact that, they're giving him another opportunity. Hopefully he grows into it. Week 2 hopefully looks better. But look, 11 for 20, 209 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Good start.
Yeah, you're way more optimistic than I am. He had 11 completions and the defense had 10 sacks. So as much as it was the Shedeur Sanders led victory, I'd say it's the Cleveland Browns defense that led victory. I thought that the one long ball that he had where it rolled out looked very similar to Colorado. I was happy he didn't get sacked multiple times. He only had the one sack. I thought that was really positive. And in terms of his comments after the game, that you showed that one clip, but there were other clips where I wish he would slow down a little bit with the victory laps that he's taking over one team.
I'm sorry.
One game.
Do we not know the history of the Cleveland Brown quarterback room? The daunting purgatory they've been in?
I've lived the history of the Cleveland Browns,
right.
And I was there the last time a rookie quarterback won, which was Eric Zier in 1995 against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Getting referenced a lot yesterday.
Yeah, and that that didn't work out either. So I'm just saying I would maybe slow your flow a little bit on beating the Raiders, who now fired their offensive coordinator and another coach, before you take a bunch of victory laps.
I disagree.
Yeah, I thought Shedeur was better than I expected him to be by a little. And I thought he looked better than Dylan Gabriel.
Yes.
And so I'm glad he was named the starter, even though Gabriel cleared the concussion protocol. I didn't want it to be like, well, he's still hurt and we're going to just, he's going to get a start de facto. I feel like he's earned another start. I just think that it is very hard for me to imagine Shedeur Sanders dominating the rest of the year, where Cleveland will go into this offseason thinking they don't need to draft another quarterback.
No, but
that's so he's talking about getting all of the reps. I don't know who's going to give him all of these reps that he so desperately craves.
This is why you earn it week after week. What we're talking about is a spark. He's given the Cleveland Browns a spark. Now, is he a long-term answer? That has to be seen. He has to prove that. But you're talking about a defense in Myles Garrett, who you paid a boatload of money to be him. He's been him. So now if you're Kevin Stefanski, you can wrap a run game around this young man, properly prepare him like he's been talking about, and give him an opportunity to thrive. If you're the Cleveland Browns right now, this whole situation with your quarterback room has been disastrous, starting with Deshaun Watson and on. You finally have a fan base that are really calling for Shedeur Sanders. Ride this wave, and hopefully he continues to produce. So I love the spark. I don't think he needs to slow down. I think he just needs to continue to show why he thinks he's him.
Is this a wave or is this a little ripple in the water?
This is his first start.
I understand that.
And he won, by the way.
But I don't think he won. They had 10 sacks. He had 11 completions.
Well, Coach,
it's not like he went and lit it up.
Yeah, but defenses, that's what you do in defense. You get sacks, and you're supposed to do it against a bad team.
You don't get 10 sacks, Willie. I mean, that's abnormal.
Nobody thought the Raiders had a great offensive line. We know the Browns are a really good defense. My point to it all is the defense did what the defense needed to do. We needed to see what Shedeur could do, and I thought he delivered.
I also, just for the content side of it, people kind of lose their minds on it. They're like, why did Kevin Stefanski barely shout him out after the game? Why did they go Wildcat? Ooh, did you see Andrew Berry's hug in the locker room? Everyone needs to just relax a little bit. We're going to get to see it. He's going to get to keep playing, and I'll root for the kid. I'll root for him. I'll say that. Because he is good content.
I love him.
You love him?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm looking for a new watch because of him.
You're a believer.
Yeah.
To L.A. The Rams secured their 6th straight win. They throttled the Bucs 34-7. Baker went down with a shoulder injury, didn't come back in the game, though recent reports from Ian Rappaport and others say that it's a low-grade sprain, which gives him a pretty good outlook and good chances to start this upcoming week. Stafford continued to do Stafford things, 3 touchdowns, 30 on the year, just 2 picks. Here's head coach, 2 picks on the season, by the way, for Stafford. Here's head coach Sean McVay after the game.
It feels like the game's slowing down. I feel like he's in total command. I think he's got a lot of trust in the teammates that he's playing with. And, there's a true ownership. And I think he's just totally and completely present. I think he's being incredibly smart but aggressive. And, it's just like anything else. He's a fine wine. He's just getting better with age. But he's playing really well. He's in total command. Yeah, you like that one?
I do like a fine wine. To me, if the question is, are they the best team in the NFL, the answer is an obvious yes, and the question is by how much. I have questions about every team in the league other than the Rams. I don't even know what I would doubt about the Rams at this point. If I had to say what is a weakness, If you've got the number one scoring defense in the NFL with the quarterback who leads the NFL in touchdown passes and a coach that we trust who we know can win at the highest levels, like what am I questioning about you? And the pedigree of having 30 touchdowns at this point of the year and a defense that's allowing 17 or fewer games, we've seen it twice in NFL history. And it was Brady in 07. He won the MVP. That team was pretty good. And Marino in 84. They lost the Super Bowl, but that was Marino's only MVP. Like, it's just, at this point, we're deep enough into the year where I can say, Coach, they're the best team, and the question is how big is the gap between them and number 2?
Yeah, watching that game last night, I thought it was going to go a lot differently than it did, but they got out on top early, and then Baker throws the pass that bounces off of Otten's arms and then pick 6. And then Baker gets hurt. I really was interested to see.
It got away from him.
Yeah, how well Tampa could have matched up with him had things just gone a little bit differently at the beginning. But that's the thing the Rams can do to you, is they can not only get on top of you, but then they can load up. And every mistake that you make puts you that much further behind, because it's not like there's a lot of wasted series on their part. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to catch that offense, especially with their defense playing as consistently as they played.
Yeah, I agree with you, Coach. When we turned on the film, it looked like we witnessed a mugging last night. They were up 21-0, and it was early in the second quarter. I'm saying to myself, how's this over? I expected Tampa to come out knuckles up, ready to fight. It didn't happen, and obviously you mentioned Baker going down with the shoulder. But I think the interesting thing about the Rams right now, as well as they've been playing, it seems like they can get better, especially with I talk about their 13 personnel. You talk about Devontae and Puka being able to win on one-on-one on the outside. And you're looking at Kyron Williams and the rest of this offensive line. Like, if they continue to stay healthy and the way Stafford's playing, they can grow and be like one. We talk about the light show. They can be the new light show for the NFL. And so I'm just amazed by them. And right now, they've planted their flag as the best team in the NFC, and I don't think it's close. I think they smoke the Eagles right now if they was to play them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we've seen that game before, so I know Eagles fans would probably take umbrage with that. Every time they get in the red zone, they're coming away with a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's the thing that just, it feels like they capitalize on every opportunity that presents itself to them. And part of it is building up Stafford's case because he keeps throwing the ball inside the 5-yard line and stacking up his touchdowns. But I really don't see a weakness in that team.
And then when you've got a guy like Devontae Adams, who you saw I think it was the first touchdown where the corners clearly got outside leverage. They're obviously taking away the fade, and then Devontae's able to give him a slight inside fake and still get outside of him and score. It's just like, as a defensive back coach, you're raising your hands up.
What more can you do?
How are we going to stop this?
Huge day in the NFL, a lot more games to get to, including if our faith is officially restored in the Ravens. Over the Jets? Yeah, we'll ask the question. No huddle time. We'll begin with Bears-Steelers, and there was a lot at stake. I like my ribeye medium rare, Willie. Didn't get the storybook ending I was hoping for, as Aaron Rodgers did not play as he had a boo-boo on his wrist, but that did not discredit what Caleb did. Bears 31-28. Rodgers did still technically leave Soldier Field with a loss, so I'll take it. Here's Caleb Williams after the game.
You don't apologize, but you do understand where you can be as a team, what we could have done out there, and that's the frustrating part. And, it starts with me, and, it funnels down everybody else.
So my faith in the Bears continues to rise, and I have never included them in Top 10 Tuesday. I've never said they're a Top 10 team in the NFL. I've never said they're a Super Bowl caliber team. Right? I'm not trying to be some homer here, but, like, if you win 8 out of 9 games, and we can point to the Patriots having an easy schedule, and we can point to fourth quarter comebacks for the Bears, or one-score victories, or, man, can Caleb do it from the pocket? And he had 3 touchdowns from the pocket in that game yesterday against Pittsburgh. They keep figuring out ways to win and improving as the year goes on. Are they a perfect team? No. Are they even a great team? No. But they continue to impress me, and they're getting better as the year goes on.
Yeah, I agree. I do think the Bears are on the rise. I think after yesterday's win, you can now consider them a playoff team, right? And I think this was a team that went from being a team that's trying to, navigate themselves through a rebuild to now, like, they're a legit threat in the NFC. And so you talk about Caleb's development. his ability to process the defense, his ability not to make the daunting mistakes, and the offensive line is protecting well. They're explosive. They have a run game. Yeah, you can say, okay. But I thought the most important thing that happened yesterday was defensively, they were depleted at the linebacker position, right? Like, shout out to DeMarco Jackson, man. He was the green dot linebacker for the game. Them boys had 29 tackles between both of them. I mean, they had a major day defensively against a Steeler team who prides themselves on being bullies, and the defense stood up. So you put that all together, you look at this Bears team differently solely because of this signature win. So congratulations to the Bears. I got to buy Danny dinner now.
Shellfish Tower.
And the Steelers had a chance to tie it up late, and the Bears were able to hold them. That's been good. Their takeaway ratio this year has been outstanding. The frustrating part about Caleb, he's done a really good job in terms of interceptions to touchdowns, especially over the last 4 games. I think it's 7 touchdowns and no interceptions. The play in the end zone where he gets sacked and decides to try to flip the ball, like those plays, if he can continue to minimize those plays that are just potentially devastating.
I mean, it's arguably the worst play of his pro career.
Oh, it was.
But seriously, not hyperbole. It really was. But I will say, last year he took 68 sacks. Yes. He took 41 through the first 11 games. This year he's taken 17 through 11 games. Like, that play I can legitimately now say is an outlier play for Caleb Williams.
Yeah, they've done a great job collectively, offensively, fixing that problem. And it's been a huge part of why they've had the success that they've had. You just want those moments. You don't want those moments that I feel have punctuated a lot of his early career.
Yep.
You can just get rid of a few of those huge blunders. They've got a chance to make a significant run, I think.
Lead the NFL in takeaways, 2nd in rushing yards, 6th in total yards, and 8th in points. Yeah, they're on the rise. To Baltimore, the Ravens hosted the Jets, and despite a 23-10 win from Baltimore, Lamar pretty pedestrian, only 153 yards. 2 touchdowns, though, went to Derrick Henry. Lamar's had a lot of lingering, nagging injuries, so he was asked after the game if that's impacting him in the offense. Take a listen.
I don't think that at all. I feel like we just need to execute, a lot better. We get in great field position, but we're not putting points on the board. That have nothing to do with no injury. We just need to put points on the board right there.
So my faith in the Ravens is just staying the same. They're going to win that division. They're going to be the 4 seed in the AFC. The defense is really improving. And I assume Lamar and the offense will figure it out because Lamar and the offense always figures it out in the regular season. So I'm not downgrading them yet.
Oh, yeah, my feelings stay the same as well. The issue with the Ravens right now, they haven't gotten better. They're simply stagnant, right? And I think solely because Lamar, he's not being honest. When you watch that game, Baltimore wasn't dominating that game, right? Like, it came into the Jets made a lot of mistakes like the Jets normally do late in games, and it cost them. But there were times where Lamar could have turned on the Jets, and he throttled down. There was times where he stepped up in the pocket, and you expect him to kind of have those signature-type plays or do something that we're accustomed to watching him do, and he throttled it down. So I'm looking at Lamar saying, yeah, there were some missed throws, there were some drops, but also Lamar was supposed to put on a cape during that game, and he couldn't. And I think because it's getting cold, they're asking him to be more protective of his legs and himself, and I think the offense is suffering because of it, because Derrick Henry really didn't get off. Like, the Jets really put up a good fight against the Baltimore Ravens. And I'm looking at Lamar saying, you're winning, but at some point, we want to see Action Jackson. And he didn't pop up yesterday.
Yeah, I say my faith was less after the game. And the reason is, when he first came back, it was against Cleveland. Cleveland's really good defensively. So I understand, first game back, struggling more against a really good defense. But I thought, okay, a week removed from that, he didn't have a designation late in the week against a Jets team that struggled in a lot of different ways. And now they're 2 for 11 on 3rd down. They're 2 for 5 in the red zone. They're down 7-3 at halftime. And really, Aaron Glenn goes for it on the zone 4th and 2 from zone 42.
In his territory is bad. Yeah.
So there are some decisions that help them as well, as opposed to seeing some growth from the Cleveland game to the Jets game where you're like, okay, this is trending in the right direction. It just doesn't, to Willie's point, it doesn't seem to be trending anywhere, and it should be.
Yep.
So he says it's not injury related. Why do you think he's not running?
Because he understands that this team was 1-5 without him, and now they're in the thick of the season. He can't afford another significant injury. You're talking about hamstring injuries. Coach, those things happen like that. They're not a situation where, you're just like, he could be scrambling, running, get tackled the wrong way. That hamstring goes. There goes the Ravens season.
So you think we might see him run in the playoffs?
At that point, because you're one and done. But I think he's protecting himself.
All right, well, that's another reason to think they can maybe get a little bit better when the games matter the most. Brock Purdy, touchdown favorite tonight against Coach's Panthers. Upset alert, Bruin? We'll discuss. Look at this handsome promo.
Yeah!
Before you go shopping on Black Friday, this is not a discount version, by the way, of FTFOT. You see what I did there? We'll all be here. Myself, Coach, Willie, Greg, 10 a.m. to noon for an FTFOT Black Friday special.
We look sharp. Look at us.
Yeah.
Look at us. This is a good-looking group.
We do. I'm going to have some winners for you guys this Black Friday, too. We're 2 hours to kick off tonight, and that is Brock Purdy in a Toyotathon jacket.
It's called swag.
Is it?
Is his name on the back of that jacket?
Yeah.
Looks like a red
Oh,
carpet.
wow.
Still called swag?
Nah.
Less?
I'm a stay.
Yeah. Guys, I'm Brock Purdy. Look at me. Panthers, Niners. He's coming off a nice return to action with 3 touchdowns last week. They're, a 7.5-point favorite over the Panthers. Coach, I assume you have your Panthers in an upset tonight?
Yeah, absolutely have the Panthers upset tonight. And if they win tonight, this will be the first time they've been in first place in 10 years.
Oh, wow.
First time in 10 years.
Yeah,
they're 5-1 in one-score games. The 49ers are only 500 at home. The Panthers, they've been outstanding in points allowed, 13th in points allowed. San Francisco struggled in total yards. They struggled in passing yards. So I like this a lot better than obviously a 7.5-point favorites. Yeah, people underestimate Carolina all the time, and Zach Mangini, my son, who's a diehard Panthers fan, we don't. And we win.
You're locked in on the Panthers.
We win.
Yeah, no disrespect to Zach. I feel like I'm going to choose the Niners here. So I don't think it's a
Sorry, Zach. Willie doesn't like you.
Oh, I love you, Zach, there. But no, I think, like you mentioned Purdy's stat line last week, I was looking to see if he was going to see a gimpy quarterback with a bad toe. That didn't happen. But for the most part, he looked efficient in the pocket. I expect the Niners just to be the bigger dog. The Panthers can't handle.
Yeah, Panthers can run the ball. So I'm interested to see how the Niners' banged-up defense holds up to that. Rico Dowdle's been great. Purdy did look really good. Niners, they're good. They're 5-4 in their last 9, and they just keep rotating. Win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. If that pattern holds, they'd be due for a loss, Coach. I'll pick the Niners, but they're upset alert adjacent.
I appreciate it.
Hedging my bets there. We'll be back tomorrow on FTF.
Hey there, it's your buddy Craig Carton. If you want the best mix of sports, stories, and straight talk, then tune in to the Craig Carton Show every day as we break down the biggest games and hottest takes on and off the field. There are no sacred cows on this show, just real sports talk for real sports fans. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss a minute of the action and subscribe right now to the Craig Carton Show. Do it today.